Hello, hello, hello. How are we all?
We're back.
All I got for New Year's was a shirt that said "Skate fast, eat trash."
Wow.
You know,
Not even
sometimes-
eat ass?
I mean,
Damn. Big sad.
big sad.
I had to do it before Ursa stopped me. I had to.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. And I'm now regretting decisions to start this whole thing up again. Maybe I should just walk out
No!
No, don't leave me! Don't leave me!
How dare!
It's
Not
fine.
allowed, actually.
It's fine. We'll get through it anyway. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to And We Went Out Roving, where I, the DM Ursa, lead lead these chuckle fucks through the border kingdoms as they try to unravel the mysteries of a whole bunch of really strange and mysterious happenings that have been occurring as of late, where murder runs afoul everywhere, and powers. Oh god, I can't do words today.
It's been a while. You're
It's
fine.
been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Literally. Hello, everyone. Last time we had left off, our group had successfully navigated through the various different trials and tribulations within Dapplegate, making a number of different purchases in all different sorts, shapes, and sizes, made a few allies within the various different thieves guilds, as well as also otherwise within the town itself. Perhaps made a slight ally in terms of Sadis after a deal was made, perhaps even a patron later on for when they go and travel towards Emrys in order to compete within a championship game, as it were. Had a very tense dinner with a rival adventuring party before finally gathering themselves together and taking a ship, specifically a long barge, up towards Blackbarn, where they were preparing to disembark when they came across what appeared to be an enormous log jam. The early afternoon light at this point in time had been glinting off the waters as they drifted closer along the river Selptar. And the light itself was looking out and around. They began spotting different longs here within the river before soon enough the near kilometer-wide river was packed full to brim. In the distance on the opposite side, you could see different ships that have been snared, and one or two that even appears to have been capsized or impaled upon with such logs, as well as also appears to be a floating body in the water. What would typically be the familiar chimney smokes coming up from the village itself appear to have been doused in itself, and a pallid dread kind of hangs over the town. So at this point in time, as you all are upon the barge in itself, if you still wish to attempt to disembark, you can do so. The group is happy to go ahead and start preparing to lower a dinghy down into you, but it will certainly at least take some amount of time for this log jam to get cleared. So, now that you've all come back at this point in time and seeing this scene out before you as the crew rushing about and preparing to fish up this individual that's unfortunately floating face down in the water, what would you all like to do?
I know my memory isn't quite the best, but I'm pretty sure that Blackbarn didn't always used to look like this. Right? He looks at a terrace.
Not from my recollection, no. Can I have a bit of a look around? Can I see anything?
Sure, make a perception check.
Just going to switch over to something a little bit more tense and appropriate for this situation.
Sounds like
In fact,
a
I will
plan.
actually ask all of you to go ahead and make a history check.
Okay.
Boy, starting off strong.
Yeah.
My worst.
Why just let one person have the joy of the first roll for the new year itself? Why don't we all participate into it?
Cool.
Lovely.
I rolled a 7, so that's a 6.
Ooh,
History and a perception.
You can't. Can't do better than me. I got a 3.
Ooh, that's not bad. 16.
Okay.
That is a 27 perception and a 14 history.
Okay. Raya and Saffron, I guess this kind of makes sense, right? Just because your memory and Saffron, because you haven't really spent a whole lot of time out from Yulash. Elegant and Terrace, the two of you would vaguely know that Black Barn is actually supposedly a fairly. It's known as actually kind of like a big retirement settlement. That it's fairly well to do off. Heavy wagoners come in through it frequently because there's a number of different fields out nearby that produce enormous amounts of food, quantities of food. It's one of those kind of those big like wagon drop off points that then like food comes in, that gets transferred into different buildings, then out towards the docks itself. But in particular of note is that there's a protective force here that is known as the Knights of the Lance, which are ghostly spectral riders that are typically known for appearing suddenly and without warning wherever wrongdoing occurs within this town. But it's a strange sight to see someone floating in the river itself, and no sign of such and of any of the knights itself.
If I may, try to once they fish the body out, look at it and try to like discern what happened. If
Sure,
I might.
we'll get to that in just a second. For you, Terrace, 27 perception. Looking out and around towards from what your, well, not your elven eyes at this point in time, but what your tiefling eyes can see.
What do your tiefling eyes see?
Looking out and across the river itself, you can see that there are definitely a number of different ships that have been kind of entangled up by this log jam that you can see stretches probably about a good couple hundred feet along the river, and then it's definitely probably about this good almost kilometer wide. And one thing you can see as part of it is that there looks to be a fairly crudely rung up net that is keeping the logs kind of in place at this point in time to kind of snare the ships within harbor itself. Another thing you do notice is that there does no very familiar white chimney smoke, and frequently that you would know that there are wagons that are almost constantly in and out of this particular town, and you see no one on the road, like no people at all. In 27, I would say from this distance, you would also see very crudely erected barricades at some of the entrances to the town street itself. But the town itself has no walls and typically has not had. But there's been like you can see crates and some tables that look at that have been stacked up between like kind of building and houses that would block like some amount of passageway into the town itself. But aside from that, you would have to get closer. That's just a little bit too far.
Something is very wrong here.
Which at that point, the sailors finishing dragging the body up out of the river as the dinghy is being slowly let down into the river itself. And go ahead and make a medicine check for me, Elegant.
All right. Not terrible. Medicine. That is a 18.
18. You can tell this individual was, while wounded per se, you can see like some heavy claw and scratch marks on them. And there's at least one leg has been broken as well, and one arm has been broken. The actual sign of death looks to be drowning. Like they were. There's no like kind of like big heavy open wound, but it almost looks like as if in terms of the leg and the arm are more debilitating injuries rather than things that would actually kill them.
And you said there were claw marks?
Like some amount of claw marks, not heavy ones, but more in terms of like where claws have been kind of like pressing the skin, a little bit of tearing of skin, but not enough for one to be like kind of heavy clawed open wound that's just like gushing blood.
What like how many marks is there? Like is it a 4 like fingered or like 4 clawed creature? 3, like what am I looking at?
Make a nature check.
Okay. I was actually gonna have a Terrace come over and see if they could like identify it.
I can have a look at it, yeah.
But I will try, yeah. Thaddeus, do you mind coming and looking at this?
Yeah.
And I'll point out the claws, but I will roll that nature check. It's not good, but my nature is actually really good for some reason, so that's a 14.
It's an intelligence-based skill.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, but it's higher than my medicine.
Yeah, it's just an intelligence-based skill. The claw marks themselves, you see it's 4, and then you're able to kind of very catch that there's what looks to be almost like an opposite one. Like it is an actual looks to be like a heavy hand claw mark.
Okay.
Terrace, I'll go ahead and give you, if well, this is the point in time, then a Terrace, I'll go ahead and you can go ahead and make a survival check at advantage.
Okay. Don't fuck me, survival. Thank you, advantage. That is a 16.
16. This definitely looks. You know that there's a number of like creatures that kind of have heavy claws that are humanoid and that have humanoid hands. Lizard folk typically have like 3-fingered hands along with thumb, but some have 4. And you know that lizard folk do kind of exist within this whole system. There have been certainly different ghouls and undead that you've encountered that have had claw-like finger marks. Trolls as well. There's a number of different creatures, but none of them are usually intelligent enough, or that they would just break bones and do like debilitating injuries. This is strange to you. Usually, most of them are kill and eat, and not necessarily just not just injure to debilitate.
How deep are these scratch marks? Like, are they... would they be a general fighting? Would they be defensive? Or would they be a very deliberate...
Some look deliberate, but some look to be deliberate. Others look as if they are like active slash marks, like they've cut through cloth and like leather and into the flesh below. But they seem more as if like kind of they're results of this individual trying to pull away rather than necessarily full on heavy cut and slash.
Could we also see how old this body is? Like how long it's been in the water? Could I determine that?
Make another medicine check for me.
Okay.
Terrace is going to stand back up, sort of look around the dock,
Another 7,
like the
so
deck
13.
of the ship.
14 again. This body you'd say is
13.
13. You can't say specifically, but it looks like it's been in the water long enough to start to bloat and swell. It's probably been in the water for over 12 hours.
Is Rye able to check on that particular one? How long it's been in there?
Sure. You know what? Like since you're like are dealing with as a tenement and proselyte scavenger, I'll have you go ahead and make a. You can go make a medicine check. Straight.
Great. Okay. All right. That's about 21.
Hell yeah!
This body looks like it's been in the water since last night.
Is that the first nat 20 of the year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
Let's go.
It looks like it's been in the water since probably between midnight and 2 a.m. last night.
Raya would just give it a once over, gentle poke, and
I would say also with that because of that, like you're kind of getting close and expecting it. There's a smell on the body that makes your fur stand on end a little bit. It's like very much so kind of a like it's something that's not necessarily about you specifically, but it's more like kind of just in your. It's like almost animalistic response of like there's the smell of a predator that's on this body.
Oh. This isn't,
What?
So, uh, it's been dead since it's just a little bit before midnight.
After
Mhm.
midnight.
A little bit after midnight. Drowning, but, there's a scent on it. Not entirely can't quite place exactly what, but something. This seems a bit predatory, but that doesn't make sense.
I mean, it
No.
is not uncommon. Terrace, have you at this point shared about like it being like a 5-clawed hand, like almost humanoid?
Yeah. Yeah, she
Okay.
absolutely would have.
I don't know if anybody here has ever fought anything like that, but I hesitate to put it out, but it's the only thing I know, but werewolf? Or
No.
It's
look,
No.
knock on
no,
wood
the-
as I knock on like the hull of the ship, but like
that's
it's not out of the question. Those things exist. Do we
fair.
know in the most recent full night? Please don't say if last night was a full moon, I'm gonna freak out. But
Last night was not a full moon.
okay, well, it
No,
might not be a
but-
werewolf.
Um,
Last night wasn't full, and he
there's-
died.
Has a terrorist fought a werewolf before?
I'm gonna say that you yourself. Well, let me see.
Wow.
There is not a completely unknown amount of
gonna
creatures
s-
that are humanoid.
I'm gonna say no. You have not fought a werewolf, but there's definitely, especially as a ranger, there's enough horror stories that revolve around werewolves that it's definitely something that's not far from your mind.
Saf,
Can I
Safi,
can
were
I
you
take a
gonna say-
sniff?
Yeah.
Can I take a sniff, DM?
What are you
Just-
attempting to ascertain?
Get that real, get
Just-
the nose right in there.
Yeah, just kind of how this sounds like a terrible idea. How dirty does this body seem?
Ugh.
The body itself, the like the individual looks like they're. I would say actually go and make an insight check for me.
Okay. Okay. Come on.
Mom.
16?
16.
Not great.
The body itself looks like it's not necessarily fully well-to-do, but it looks like the clothes themselves look well put together enough. You get the feeling that this individual is probably one of the many kind of like wagon hands or similar. Like the clothing is durable but well constructed. It's definitely something that would be like more that you would like a dock worker or something would wear, but it's not super dirty. It's
Okay.
none
And
of
they've
it
been in the
looks
water.
about 12
Ho-
to probably actually at this point you would know because of like where I said it's been in the water for pretty much like 10 hours.
How many?
How
Okay.
dirty is the water?
Water is actually the water here is decently well. No, I'm gonna say it's actually on the dirtier side simply because you get a lot of silt and runoff that comes down out from the various different border kingdoms area, and there's
Okay.
there's always a heavy amount of fighting and similar that goes along there. So there's some amount of and it's an area that thrives in terms of for fish and for other wildlife. So it's murky. It's not like disgusting and like sludgy, but there's definitely like silt churned up into it and similar.
I have an idea.
Okay. Okay. Go for it.
I was just thinking, we're in a logjam, right? And he
You're at the edge
drowned.
of it, yes.
Yeah, he drowned, and we found his body in the log jam. Like, was he surrounded by logs, or was he just on the edge of the?
It looks like he was on the edge of it. Like he's in. There's definitely signs that he's kind of like bobbed and submerged at different points in chunks and times.
Does he have any bruising on him? Is it possible that he like caused the log jam, like releasing the logs and trying to escape from whatever the fuck this was?
There is bruising on him, but it looks more. I would say from the previous medicine checks you made, this looks more as if an individual was either thrown into the water or was fleeing something and ran into the river to try to get away and drowned.
Okay, sorry, that was my idea.
The logjam, from what you can tell and see, it looks like it's been in place for at least a couple days in order to build up enough of this concentration of logs that have caused this massive pileup.
Gotcha. Okay, sorry, that was my only. I was like, what if he's loaded it? Okay, sorry.
It's a valid question.
Yeah, Safi, what were you?
So-
Sorry.
Super quick clarification. It's just like scratch marks.
Scratch marks. There's a broken leg, a broken arm. There is bruising around, like it is like he was attempted to be grabbed or held at one point in time, which is like kind of where those claw marks are. Like he was able to pull himself away at one point in
Okay.
time.
No bite marks.
No bite marks.
Okay. Okay.
No heavy slash wounds. At least not into the
Okay.
lingy. There's definitely, I would say that there are heavier marks in terms of bruising, like especially around kind of the chest area. This individual looks like he was not necessarily beaten like with clubs, but look as if he was definitely hit with heavy blows to incapacitate.
This is
Okay. Hey Doc. All of these just
Mhm.
sort of points towards chest.
Yeah. Yes.
Before death or after death?
The claw marks. Before.
The bruising is most a chunk of it. Most of it is from before death.
Okay.
There's a little bit around the like kind of the arms when they kind of probably like smacked into a log maybe that
Mhm.
was that has been postmortem, but most of them appear to be pre.
So I'm gonna like point to because I know too much about dead bodies. So
Little bit.
Listen,
Just that
we know, okay?
hyperfixation.
Search stuff
I'm
every
right
once in
there
a
with
while.
you.
Look, you're not
Um,
alone in terms of true crime and
Mhm.
anatomy shows and similar. You're
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, you're
So Allegan's gonna point to the claw marks and like some of the bruising on the arms where it looks like he was held and say, these here and here, these are not post-mortem. They happened when he was trying to escape. I'm not entirely sure if he was thrown into the water or fell himself, maybe. But this here, and he'll like point to some of like the bruising on the arms and legs. These were most likely caused by the logs running into his body. You can see that the blood is not quite at the surface like they are with these.
That brings up a concerning question.
Hmm.
From your professional opinion, do any of these wounds look like they were with the intent to kill,
No,
or were they?
this was not trying to kill him. As far if he was trying to kill him, these scratch marks would be far deeper. This is somebody who pulled away from something that had claws.
That makes what I'm currently thinking all the worse.
Why? What do you think this is?
I think he was. So I was scenting a predator.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that makes this concerning is that this man might have been hunted for sport, with the intent of maybe getting him to drown. Because if you're gonna kill someone, there are several more efficient ways to do it, and seems like they easily could have did that, but
this does not read as sport to me. This reads as maybe trying to capture him for other reasons. I don't entirely know. It is possible. Terrace, at this point, have you like talked about like the barricading on the city or
Which,
town?
as you turn and look and see, you see a terrace at this point in time is kind of like clambered to the edge of the boat, and looks as if they're about to hop onto the first of the logs that is heading towards the city, the town.
Okay. Wait, we have to hop on logs to get to the town? Like, there's no...
No, there's a dinghy
We
that's
don't
being lowered
have
for the
to.
group. A terrace is just choosing to attempt to log hop towards town.
Terrace,
There's barricading.
never waits.
The usual protections here aren't where they should be. We can wait for the dinghy, or you can follow me. And she's going to hop off.
I'm going to wait for the dinghy, please.
I rolled I rolled an 18 acrobatics.
God damn it.
So a terrace just with a hop that goes whoop, and lands and kind of balances on a log and then starts making their way along it.
I'm waiting for the dinghy like a sane person.
I'm sane. I'm
No, you're not.
completely sane. I'm just going to go ahead and follow a terrace. Just make sure that she doesn't get into trouble. You can wait here where it's nice and safe and where there are totally not any bodies that you could use for your own research. See ya.
Alright.
Terrace, what are you telling the Tannerel?
You put one brain in the jar.
I'm getting Tannerel to wait with Allegan until Allegan's on the boat.
Okay.
Does 24 acrobatics.
Yep, you are able to follow right along behind a terrace.
Can I also send my magpie to scout ahead?
Sure, that is easy enough. So you send them fluttering up into the air itself. Saffron, what are you doing? Are you leaving Allegan to their own demise, or are you following after?
Allegan looks at you really sad, like, please stay with me.
I have to roll. You can see how badly he wants to do a flip off of the fucking thing, and just you can't see because he has fur, but he is white knuckling his fists right now and is just stiff as a board and just with gritted teeth. Fine.
It's like the cat that's like, I can make this jump, and they're doing like the little rocking back and forth motion.
Yeah. He's just sort of like sort of rocking on his toes, and it's just like, oh, wait.
Tannerel is going to give Safi a big ol' lick.
Okay.
Wait. We got the earring earring that sends message, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Ryan's gonna send a message to Safi and just say, should have acted faster.
Is this in the group chat?
This is in the group chat.
This is in the group chat, yes.
Wow, Raya, your journal's really looking like Tinder right now. That's so funny of you to say to me.
Joke's on you. He actually brought it this time.
Joke's on you. While the Christmas season was happening, I actually remember things now.
All right. So for a terrace and I will have each of you go and make another acrobatics check for me, please.
Okay.
All right. 30-20.
Not too bad. Okay. That is a 16.
All right. Both of you are able to successfully navigate your way through the long gym itself. Neither of you see any other bodies or like that floating within the river itself.
I think a terrace's focus is going to be on the settlement.
Right.
I'm just saying in terms of like just random like kind of like
As
such
we're
things
passing.
but yeah.
Ryan would be kind of just looking around, just mostly just looking for other routes he could take, it was like on the logs, but also just anything around.
Good. The two of you are able to kind of make it to the settlement after a couple of minutes. For Alec and for Saffron, the boat is lowered after just another couple of moments, and you two are hop into the dinghy, and they're also along with two other sailors who are then rowing the two of you to the nearby shore.
I would say, like, in the moment that we have before the boat is lowered, I'm gonna kind of like turn to Safi and be like, Raya said that he smelled a predator. What did you get out of it, if anything? Did it, I don't know, rise your hackles?
In retrospect, would it? Would anything have
You
sorta...
rolled a 14 or 16 for your insight. I think
16.
16.
It was 16.
I would say from your time as kind of amongst the known men and the gentlemen, that this does not look as if like the individuals still have their coin purse on them. It did not look like it was a mugging. It did not look like it was someone who was being roughed up for payment or otherwise. It was definitely kind of this, like, looking over the individual. They were well enough off, but not necessarily gloriously wealthy. This was not someone that would just be targeted. It like might be like get roughed up in a brawl or a sailor, but like in terms of like broken tooth or jaw or things like that. But there's definitely like this seemed more like kidnapping or body snatching, like this, or just being like kind of rounded up or grabbed and like maybe being taken someplace. But there, in terms of scent wise, there was nothing for you that you recognized. But it definitely was. It was not like kind of a mugging or a thief thing at this point. This definitely did not. This did not feel like in terms of that for targeting someone for like money or ill will or things like this. Seemed more targeted just because they were trying to be like grabbed or tossed into something.
Okay. I mean, nothing really like that. It just, I don't think this guy was targeted or anything like that. It just sort of
happened.
Just sort of happened. Wrong place, wrong time.
What Raya said about it seeming like it was for sport, I don't agree. I think this is something is trying to keep him from going anywhere else. That if he was able to warn something or what Terra said, the protections here are gone. If there was something here that was able to remove these protections and then go so far as to keep everybody here, barricade them inside, what is the purpose of that?
I mean, any number of things.
This doesn't seem like it was for food or violence. It seems intentional.
Well, it may have been personal, but I don't think so. I think...
And not personal, but intentional, because if... we're missing clues here, but... I don't know, something about this really bothers me.
At which point the dinghy is all prepped and the two of you step in and are slowly then being rowed to shore. Along with Teneral.
Okay.
For Ateris and for Ryan, the two of you at this point in time kind of get to the edge of the docks of the town itself, and the docks themselves are just packed full in terms of like both fishing ships that would typically be out and about, but at this point in time have been kind of wedged into space by all the logs itself, and like some of them you can see them pressed up against the side, where to the point where they've been damaged, like masts have been twisted and snapped. Like some of the logs have been pushed so far in that they've kind of crumpled some of the holes in the side, not necessarily fully sinking ship yet, but certainly not making them unsaleable until the damage is repaired. You see no people at the docks, and which is completely bizarre in terms of like this is a town that is known for that lives off of its produce trade.
Ateris is going full like ranger hunting mode and is looking for anything that could be a track or a sign or anything.
One thing that you wouldn't also know, Ateris, is that Black Barn does not have a standing militia. It does not have a standing town guard because of the presence of the lances. So you would not expect to have any form of either military or guard rising. It's one of also the reasons why a lot of people retire here is that because of the lances basically overbearing and over presence protection here that protects pretty much all citizens from heavy thievery or from heavy thievery, murder, of anything in terms of that point. Like you even heard of stories of an individual who would fleeing out through the town itself, throwing burning torches, and the lances appeared and through some magicry teleported the fires that he made it onto that individual. And it's a town that is typically very well protected by these armored knights. And the fact that this has been going on definitely kind of gives you a deep pit of worry. But go ahead, make a survival check for me.
Mm-hmm. Don't fuck me. Fuck yes. That is a nat 20 for a 22.
Yeah.
You would hear
Go.
sounds of people like within the town itself. Like in the distance, you can definitely hear behind muffled walls what vaguely make out the sounds of people. The streets themselves look like they're a mess. There are overturned carts, boxes that haven't been moved towards barricades, and some in different like locations here and there have been like tossed aside, broken or smashed open. A lot of food has been just kind of like left out rotting here and there. There's also a lot of signs of struggles in all across the town in various different shapes and forms and sizes. But as you are walking, you would see a number of doors in various different buildings have been smashed down. And it's like or even like there's been a couple that look as if they've been fully ripped off their hinges. And the buildings inside them look as if overturned tables and other things of the like. But you see very few people within those in around. But you do see a couple buildings like further in that have not yet been smashed open or in, but it definitely could get the feeling that these further and further press in. There's more buildings that are still intact or that have not been raided, but those at the edges have certainly been the people have been removed from.
Right. Check some of those doorways, see if any of the damage matches that of that body.
Already on it. Can I roll stealth just to, since there's like a bunch of wreckage like here and there, can you just like use that to just go from one place to another?
Sure.
All right. Oh, no, stop that. Come back here. Okay. What is that? This is 29.
29. Vanish.
And he's just gonna go ahead and check to see if any of those claw marks are any of those claw marks are there? Anything that was seen the butt?
Make a
Also-
perception check for me. Actually, no. Then this one I'll have you go make an investigation check since you're trying to match signs that you've found on the body as to what you have encountered here.
God damn it. Okay. Also, would I be able to use that to try to see if I could get a similar whiff of that scent that I got on the body?
For you, I would say that there's definitely kind of that scent and smell beforehand that is much more pungent here, and it smells. The more you like, it smells like blood and fur and kind of like a stink of urine in some locations of locales, and there's definitely a lot of fear that you get the smell of.
Oh dear. Okay. So yeah, no, this is where my luck ends. So roll a 10, so that's a 9 for investigation.
You can't quite match in terms of like specific claw marks. You can tell that there's a lot of them. That there's definitely in some locations like what looks to be handprints that have been blood. But aside from that, there's not a huge amount of blood. But there's definitely signs of heavy struggles and similar things of the like. Elegant and Saffron, by this point, the two of you get onto the shore, and you can definitely tell by this point in time, like you're approaching the town, that what looks to be is that there's a number of different entrances to the town itself, but almost all of them have been put up like shoddy barricades that have where just like overturned wagons, carts, crates, chairs, panic barricades. Like these are not properly constructed military. This is like anything that can be put up there that has been put up there. And you see a number of heavy claw marks on those that probably indicate that whatever was going through them just climbed up and over them.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is
Okay.
fucked.
Yeah.
I will
this
have you
is
both
not
go ahead and make
great.
perception checks.
Sure.
Fuck you. Natural one.
Ooh.
The first
I'd
natural
love-
one of the new year. One of us has to
Almost a
would-
natural 20, but it was an 8.
I would
that
love to be able to
is-
roll a double digits. Would be so nice.
It would
Oh,
be
buddy.
so nice, but I'm
An
glad
8
I'm
total?
not the one doing it.
11 total.
11 total. Yeah, there's definitely probably because of the nearby passing rain, they're all like kind of the ground in front of all the barricades is just a churny, muddy mess.
Yeah. All right, let's catch up with the others. We don't want to be by ourselves right now.
Yeah, no, this place is
Bad.
fuck. This place.
I don't understand why. Yes, we should help them, but maybe stay
can
in one
do-
group.
Yeah, you can do your investigating later. Let's just fucking. I'm gonna start looking for the other two.
Yeah.
Sure. Saffron, make an insight check for me, please.
Okay. Ah, thank you. Insight
Yes.
23.
23. As you're walking with Allegan, you can clearly see Tannerel has their ears down and like pinned to the back of their head, and their head is like fully on a swivel back and forth, and you can see they're like constantly sniffing the air, and their teeth are like in this set of almost like a constant half growl.
Is Tenrel in their infernal form at the moment?
Currently, yes.
Ooh.
With that roll, what does it smell like here?
What did you say the total was?
23.
23. Here it smells very similar. You smell that scent of fur and blood. There's a lot, like for you, there's a lot of like of that of a very very heavy like smell of fear and a lot of humanoid smell in terms of urine and other things like here and there. But it definitely feels like there's a few intermingling sense of. You said 23. Oh, there's a little few intermingling sense of lupine, like wet dog, but that's particularly strong. But there's a lot more sense of humanoid or like humans in general. And they frequently but there are more of them that look appear to be in large groups that are exiting the town.
Okay. I think Safi just does that face when cats smell something and they just sort of blue screen for a bit with their mouth slightly open and their eyes squinted because they're
face.
Yeah, because they're processing the smell. He's just sort of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just sort of like, ugh. Okay.
It's bad here.
Yeah, there's a lot more wet dog than I expected. It's a lot.
Wet dog?
Wet dog. Lots of piss. Ursa, is there, thinking of that letter that I got, because one of the things that was in it was, what was it? Face of a laughing cat. Is there anything that I can sort of scope out that seems like, or are we still not in town enough for?
So you're making your way into the town. Sure, go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay. Ooh, finally, good rolls. I'm rolling my fox dice. That makes sense.
Of course.
Perception. So that's math. 24.
24. Nothing immediately, but you do see, because a lot of this is fairly like kind of open roadways in themselves here and there that have been kind of tossed over here and there. Probably about the first quarter mile into the town is just a gigantic mess at this point in time. But further in, you can see down the street that you're heading and walking on, looks to be buildings that are more intact. You can see a few like lights at the point in time. You can see heavy planks of wood over a number of different doors, which Ateris, you're kind of just coming up onto this area as well. You're beginning to see that. And you would see down at one particular street appears to be a number of different kind of taverns of various different locations. One of which appears to be swinging a wooden placard that bears the face of a laughing cat.
Good. Well, he turns to Allegan. I got some people in town. We can get some answers pretty quick, I think.
Normally I would be less excited about your people here, but honestly, that is good news.
Of course it's good news. Where the fuck are they're probably lurking around here somewhere.
Hello.
Jeff! Actually, hello.
Yeah, because Allegan's really stressed right now.
Yeah, no, just fists go fucking wide, like completely just. Don't do that. Don't, you cheeky little shit. Don't do that.
Yes, I'm sorry. It's what I do here. But besides, it's kind of. Oh.
I need a.
Oh. I saw that.
Did I get a con save?
Oh my god.
Yeah. All right. So that's a 15.
It beats. You just see Allegan, like, as he's just really tense, he's kind of got his little stoat like tucked into his shirt, with Yana's head just like peeking out, and he's got the other hand on Ateris's hound's like kind of like shoulder, I guess, like just keeping contact with them. But as Riot comes out of fucking nowhere, you just see like a snap of like ice, like splinter out from his hand. And thankfully it doesn't hit you as it just like splatters across the edge of a house.
Allegan, that's a bit much. Bit of an overreaction.
It was not.
It kind of was.
I thought I was being loud enough for you right here.
No, you were not.
Not in the slightest.
I apologize for the reaction.
No, that's actually good. And is I better safe than getting killed. But things are concerning.
Yeah.
Oh, really? What gave it away? He says, making a very wide arm sweep at the whole fucking area.
If it wasn't even for that right there, it's the this place reeks of fear. And
You're
piss
telling me.
and
So much
other
piss.
things. And
Wet dog.
fur.
Do you get that wet dog?
Wait,
so much.
That's what I was smelling right there. What?
Yeah,
Wait.
it's fucking wet dog. It's nasty.
Wait, that's not good.
No, it's not. Where is
hey,
the parrot?
I'm right
she's
here.
right over. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Both of you, need to not do
I
that.
wasn't even
He wasn't even
being sneaky. I was just not.
You know, for someone who usually keeps his head on a swivel, you're being very good with it right now. You have
I'm a
big
little distracted.
Ears. You have
I'm
big
a little
ears.
distracted.
Ateris is immediately kneeling in front of Tannerel and just like patting him and talking to him.
Okay. Do we want some answers?
Zephy has people
yes.
here.
Cool.
Let's hope they're still alive.
I doubt they're dead. Honestly, they're a resilient bunch.
In a retirement village?
Eh,
I'm sure that Stablehand believed the same thing, but
To be fair, if Safi's people is right there, don't you think that information given to them would make for the ultimate retirement plan?
Hmm. Well, let's see if we can find these people then.
All right, come on. I'm gonna start leading them over to the sign that I saw.
Before Ateris follows, can she get any kind of read from Tannerel?
Make an animal handling check.
+2. That is a 13.
13. There is definitely this sense of fear from Hannibal. You definitely have this feeling of extreme wariness, and you can tell that they're fighting this urge to just bolt.
You give him a pat on the head.
They nuzzle up onto your hand itself.
Stay out here, at the door. If you hear or smell anything suspicious, you know what to do.
They bark.
Let us know. Good boy. Gives him a pat and then follows after.
All right. You will walk for probably about 3-4 blocks before. There's probably in about a distance of a block. There's this shift from kind of where everything you can see a number of different windows and doors have been smashed in or otherwise, and there's less traffic or mess within the street itself before you. But you can definitely now get to a place where you can see that a number of buildings have had full boards up over doors. You see windows that have been kind of barricaded over. You see a few peeking eyes out through various different windows here and there. You can tell that there are still people in and around. And there are a couple that look to be like inns and establishments nearby that you can tell there are people inside. You could hear the sounds of arguments from in various different buildings here and there, uh, as well as also a couple like further on down that appear to be larger establishments that would be like more congregation halls and similar. The one that Saffron takes you to is it's a 2-story black stone building with a maroon roof that on the sign itself bears the symbol of a laughing cat, and the sign above the door placard says the laughing cat. Which when the door in front of that is not boarded up and over, but all the curtains are pulled over and blinds you, and you can tell that there is some amount of light coming out from the interior. At which point in time, the sun is now about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's definitely starting to get on the later side in terms of light for the day.
Pleasant place. The moment Raya feels eyes on him, he's gonna look over and he's gonna wave.
Their eyes very quickly move back out the windows, right? Like every time you kind of turn to do that, they kind of shift out of the frame.
Yeah, like I've never seen a Tenenbaum before.
That's not okay.
Oh no, I know they're afraid of me, but I'm not.
That's not it either. Okay, come on. Safi's gonna lead the charge and go in.
Okay. You go to the door and it's locked.
I'm gonna do a little knock on it.
Okay.
Wait.
Are you knocking any specific pattern? Or are you just knocking?
What is that? The one called fucking? I want to say shower and
barber's
haircut
knot?
or
Barber,
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
barber.
2 bits and a haircut.
2 bits and a
two
haircut.
bits and a shower and a haircut. Sure.
Oh, shave and a haircut.
Shave it, yeah. Regardless, so that pattern, just gonna do that, and then wait a couple seconds.
You wait a couple seconds, and then there's a pleasantly melodic voice that kind of asks something. Knocking's a new one. Who's out there?
Friend of Canton's.
Mr. Duquesne isn't expected for some time still. It's not his usual bits.
Yeah, I know. He sent me ahead.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Woo! Yeah! Let's do -3!
No. We call Riz.
Oh, okay. With advantage. Good. So it's not a -1. It is
We love
instead
that.
a 13.
Hey.
There's this heavy sliding that you hear of what here's like an enormous drop bar being shifted off to the side, and then followed by a second one that goes and a lock being undone
Oh, that's
Before-
not foreboding.
before the door kind of like very cautiously opens, and a pure white tabaxi's face looks out at you.
Just sort of gives a nod and like tugs at his necklace.
And they glance back over the rest. Are they all spoken for?
Yeah, they're all with me.
Pleasure to meet you even under such dire circumstances.
You'll have to forgive us, we're a bit on edge.
Yeah. Would like
Yes,
to
I
know
can
a
see
little bit
that.
more about that, but maybe from indoors if possible.
Over tea, probably.
You can see their head turn back, and from Saffron, you can tell from the motion of their shoulder that they're waving someone like away or waving down. They open the door, and
The weapon.
Mm-hmm.
You see a female tabaxi dressed in fairly fine silks and travel clothes. Pulls open the door. You can see around her neck appears that to be of a brilliant emerald necklace. As you all step inside, you can see that there's a number of different people around. You could hear from upstairs what it sounds to be noises of people enjoying themselves, whether through drink or otherwise. And you can see it around, like there's a number of different people like drinking, partaking of different narcotics and other things like here within this establishment. And you can see behind it what looks to be a long bar, as well as also other small tables, about 5 or 6 individuals dressed in full armament that are all slowly lowering crossbows.
I appreciate the precaution.
Would you like to share why? What is
First
going
of
on
all,
here?
I will have Terrace actually go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Ruh-roh.
What?
Here's, you gotta stop meeting people from your past like this.
At 28.
Oh my god.
You would see that all of the tips of the bolts of the crossbows are tipped in silver.
Oh.
Mhm.
No!
Yep, werewolf
Hey,
shit.
I might
Yeah.
have been right about the
You're,
werewolf thing.
It's not
Terrace
even
is
a
going
might at this
to.
point.
Terrace is going to clear her throat. Doctor, it seems your suspicion of werewolves might be correct.
I hate being right.
So that is a wet dog. That is a wet dog we're smelling.
Okay, that's
Terrace isn't even going to mince words. She's just going to walk over and just be like, care to trade something for some of those?
Perhaps, certainly. What do you have for trade? This is a unexpected blessing if we actually have some individuals who could help deter the beasts from running off with many more people in the night.
What happened to the Lancers?
Come in, and we can certainly at least explain a little bit.
Okay.
I have a question for the DM.
Yes.
I have many spools of silver wire. If we wrapped bolts in that, would it have a similar effect or no? If we like coiled it around the
I'd
bolt?
say sure. Yeah.
Wait.
Like you could also theoretically use it as like garrote wire and things like that.
Okay.
Wait, spools.
Ooh.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Would you be able to wrap it around a blunt sword?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
It
10
might be smart
spools
for
of
each
silver
of us
wire.
to. It might be
Please.
smart for each of us to have a spool of that.
Yeah, do you
Let me
just
garrote
wrap them around
something.
or wrap them around your knuckles?
No, I just want to use a fucking garrote. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but punch with the
Just-
extra silver damage.
You can wrap a garrote around your fist. That's fine, but you can also
Facts.
fucking use it as a garrote.
let Fox be Agent Kitty 7, okay?
Exactly. Thank you.
Let them cook.
As you're all like allowed inside, they close the door behind you and put both drop bars as well as the lock back in place at this point. And you're all brought to the bar where the white tabaxi steps behind it and pulls out a fine bottle of what appears to be brandy and sets out 5 glasses, taking one for themselves and pouring a decent shot for each of you at that point in time. Would any of you like any ice?
Raya just takes it, looks at it, and then just downs it completely.
Manners. A toast has to be made first.
Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought it was just like a thing that you do right there, but you know what? I can try again. You don't have to pour me another one. We'll just do a toast.
You can just have mine.
Safi just sort of rubs at his brow and he's very much having that like, oh, my friends are embarrassing me kind of a moment.
And none more for the naughty boy then.
Hey.
Probably
So-
best to keep his mind clear, considering.
Very well.
What are we dealing with? Exactly.
To hopefully not dying.
Hopefully not
From-
dying. I'll take that.
And she raises her glass, and to hopefully hopefully an answer found. And she raises her glass and clinks it with each of yours.
Clink.
And
Clinks
Clink.
it,
Or-
passes it over to Raya.
It's like clinks and. You sure?
Yes.
All right. He takes another sip.
And she downs hers and sets it on the table. Well, as far as you can certainly tell, this is surprising that we would be your first stop rather than the Lord Trantor, but connections are where connections to be made.
Lord Trentor?
The High Trantor, the Trantor is the one who is elected from the various different merchant members that holds positions of power here within the town.
Oh, he's a merchant prince then.
Well, not a merchant prince per se, but one of the ones that they swap and they switch places and positions every few years, and they're more elected ones.
I see.
The one here is known as Willard Norwick. He's the current corn purveyor. Holds about a good 6 or 7 enormous fields outside of town, and does the primary books for that himself. But and I'm sure that if some newfound and plucky souls were to go to them and inquire perhaps about a reward for dealing with this menace, he would be more than happy to help provide.
We'll speak with him later, but it is likely that you know more.
And that it will be less arguing going around in that place where he is.
Knowing more is a bit of a stretch, but at least keeping my ears and eyes open well enough. My name is a novice.
Spelling?
Oh, Riot takes out his book and actually,
Anavis.
A novice.
thank you very much.
A
It
terrace.
is nice to meet you, even under such circumstances. Dr.
Hopefully I'm-
Allegan, you.
Pleasure.
It's like we're doing instructions. I'm Raya. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure. And I am certainly already aware of Saffron, the letter from the dispersing message from Cecil spoke glowingly of your escapades.
If Safi could blush, he just his tail just sort of flicks a little bit, very pleased, and it's just like, oh, good, thank you, yes. Hi.
This is a
But
wonderful
to
host.
provide some information as to what has been occurring of late, a few evenings ago, it was taken notice that our usual protections and enforcers of the law here, the Lancers, the Black Knights, have stopped appearing, performing their usual duties. In fact, more
It's
than a few took
unusual.
advantage of they have been doing their vigil for nigh over 100 years now, and that this town has become known for being a place to retire or provide some amount of respite with freedom of worry of being hampered by such constraints as being mugged or similar during a night's walk or after too much drink. And as much as it may provide for steady business in one way, it has also been true to be a difficulty at other points in times, but we make it best of it as we can. But as I said, a few nights ago they stopped appearing, and unfortunately 2 nights ago the raids began. Lupine individuals, almost certainly werewolves, began tearing into houses and buildings and yanking people out of their homes and beds in the middle of the night, screaming to them, and then dragging them off on various different carts and other things out into the nearby fields. As far as we can know, they leave no one behind that they can, but also don't appear to be attempting to kill as well, and that worries me just as much. And there's a particularly large and violent brute among them that leaves me with a very deep pit in my stomach. They don't come at they don't come in the light of day itself, but they certainly strike quickly in the dead of night, and each time so far they've departed with almost 50 to 100 souls.
What exactly
Where
are
they're
they
taking-
shouting at these people?
They're not shouting anything. They're moving with quiet efficiency, and aside from a few howls and barks and yips and toward communications, but there's no sense of this usual bloodlust or anything that would be among such monstrous creatures. They act with purpose, and that's
Dangerous.
even more
Concerning.
terrifying than usual. A werewolf is known for being a brutal, bloodthirsty beast. To act with intelligence is very concerning. And so, but hence at this point in time, because we are without our usual protections, we have no sense or as to how to contact with anyone. We've sent runners off to nearby towns or anything, hoping for some response, but know that it's at least several days' ride to Dapplegate or to Gallard, and Emrys is certainly through Hotgarth and the Talduf Vale, and that's at least almost a week's travel just to get there. We're basically on our own out here, except for the various different towns and hunters and through the various realms. So, unless we get some good luck that happens upon us, we're basically fucked.
Huh.
We've been managing
think-
to smelt together some amount of silver for different bolts and otherwise, and some swords here and there, but this is an area of retirees and not many retired adventurers. There's not many fit fighters amongst us. There are stable hands and stock workers and the like, but but we don't have any form of what might be called able-bodied soldiers.
I think Terrace is going to look at the others. I think it's time for a bit of a hunt, don't you?
Yeah.
Maybe some
Sound
investigating first, though. Their behavior sounds.
concerning.
I was going to
Need-
say coordinated, but.
It's absolutely
is-
coordinated, but there's something else going on here if someone's suppressing the lances.
Also, there's the fact that we still have no idea what they're doing with those people there. Are they trying to turn more where? No. It
Just
would
the
take.
nu-
It would
the
take
number's
much.
been
It would take much
increasing.
longer to. It would take
Well-
much longer to even do that.
And perhaps
Wait, have the numbers
we...
of the lycanthropes been increasing?
It's difficult to tell. They strike under dark of night. It stayed no more than 30 minutes, maybe an hour before they disperse back out into the fields once more.
Have they been able
Hunters
to
and
take more people?
they've
every night?
made 2 raids. Last night and the night before. It's fun. And each time they've taken some, as far as people can tell, somewhere in the realm of 50 to 100 people.
Just townsfolk or outsiders too?
They didn't seem to be particularly picky about who they grabbed. Although,
So,
but the High Trento may have more information. They've certainly sent out, hired various different hunters and scouts and trackers after them to see if they've gotten any response or otherwise. But I have no idea in terms of actual idea one way or the other. It's keeping me busy enough in order to keep my own people safe. Your
Fair enough.
friend can understand.
Did they take anything other than people? Livestock, supplies?
No. Food was left out, jewelry and coinage appeared was left untouched. Livestock was ignored. This was specifically people.
So either the people are food or they are not interested in food for some reason.
Here's a question:
Hmm.
Has Have they tried sending any people out, like during the day or
What?
anything like that?
To speak to the
No,
lycanthropes.
no, not to speak to the lycanthropes, to ask for help.
Well, yes, we've sent out messengers to the various different nearby towns, but the closest town is at least a day and a half hard ridings away, and to be entirely fair, Glenard has never been the most benign of neighbors. And beyond that, it would be either Dapplegate or Emrys, and both of which do have some amount of standing forces, but they're close to. Dapplegate is close to 3 days on horseback. Emrys is closer to 5, maybe even 7, and that's just to get there. It's been 2 days. It's been basically 2 days since the first attack, and this is more
Impressive
than
barricades for 2 days.
it's more desperation than anything else.
Fair enough.
Actually,
I get like a description of the man we found.
yeah,
floating in the river.
no, same brain, brain.
Do they sound familiar to you, like one of the messengers that were sent out?
No, that sounds more like Horus, one of the dark workers. Typically, a lot of I tend to entertain a number of the harder working laborers that come in through here after their shifts during the evening. This is a house of pleasure, but at least for the moment, it is as safe as it can technically be anywhere here within the city, within the town itself.
I see.
There's a few exceptions. I do believe that Willard has stabled up at the Silent Night. That's the best inn within the town itself, and I know at least that there's a few of the other merchant lords here that have discussing as the best they can in terms of either rewards to be offered or what it would cost to hire a mercenary army to drive out these lycanthropes. But aside from that, again, we don't have a standing guard. We don't even have having a town's guard in terms of. It's not something here that we've ever needed as for Black Barn. You might find some amount, like the only one that has even a vague amount of magical inkling is the potions shop, Marlene, but she's more of a hedge witch and a full-fledged adventurer.
I see. Then I guess we must speak with this merchant lord.
Yeah.
Don't call him that. Just High Trantor. He's enough of an egotistical man as it is.
Oh, that's pleasant.
Well, don't call him the Corn Lord. Got it.
She smiles and kind of chuckles there. So, that's something else to use in less polite company, certainly.
Yeah. Is there anything that we should probably know when dealing with them?
He's a man that works in numbers. He's fairly well off, so if you ask anything of him, he would be more than likely to be willing to pay for it.
All right.
A lot of individuals to him are closer to numbers on ledgers than anything else, but even if he does not appear to be, even if he appears to be a man more concerned about the coin in his pocket, he does still enjoy his comforts, and these creatures have disturbed his comforts. So he is, like the rest of us, desperate to see them departed, and the status returned to what it is, to what it was.
Fair enough.
Oh. Did you?
I feel like I can offer.
Did you three want to take care of that? And I will make sure our boat perhaps waits on the river rather than coming to shore.
Not a bad idea. There are also two
Yeah.
other dockhands that came with us. We should check on them.
Yeah,
I will go
you-
back with them then.
You all do that. I'm just gonna need a little bit to just get everything down in here. I'll be right behind you.
All right. If you do need a place to rest for the evening, my doors are open to you and yours. You are considered a friend to us, and so long as none of you are going to turn into a werewolf, then I think that we'll get on splendid terms.
I don't think I can. I don't want to test it though.
I prefer not, because then I would have to shoot you and riddle you with silver bolts.
I don't know. I don't look good with silver. Gold is more my color.
Maybe it is not the time for jokes when people are missing.
This is how I deal with stuff.
Then maybe do it silently for now. Thank you for your
Fine.
time.
Of course, the door is open to you, but as your friend displayed, shave and a haircut will at least get me to talk to you rather than a bolt through the window.
Okay.
Appreciated.
And again, if you do encounter them, be careful of the big one.
The big one?
There's been, as far as we can tell, there's been a number of werewolves of normal humanoidish size. There's one in particular that is a longer, larger, lankier individual, and gives me a very distinct feeling of a sinking pit in my stomach. And he moves very quickly.
I wish we would
I
at least go
will-
to a town for maybe one time. We have been to 3 towns, and in every single one, shit is bad. Sometimes we don't know
Well,
shit is bad.
Welcome to the
But
Border
shit is bad.
Kingdoms. It's
is
not
what it
as
is.
it's not always as easy as it is at the academy. This is what I do for my living.
know what
And
I
I
do too.
am so happy to be at home and make sure that you have something to eat when you return.
Well, I will return to you guys. I guess I will meet you at this tavern.
Silent Night.
I'll meet you at the Silent Night after I alert our boat ride and friends there, and I'm going to swing back here. Perhaps we can make some monetary exchange for some of those silver-tipped.
Do you have crossbows?
I was hoping if you might have some arrows, but I can make do if need be.
Most folks here are not trained in traditional bow hunting, and I know that those that did have such training took the silver arrows when they went out to track after the beasts.
We'll
We have a
make do
few
then.
daggers and similar things that we could trade with, but in terms of silvered arrows, unfortunately not.
I have
We'll
an
make
idea
do.
later, but that's gonna be different.
An odd question, but well, maybe not so odd. Are there any merchants available in the area? I know that times are stressed.
Most merchants here are Wainwrights. They're excellent wagon makers in town, but they're few and far between at this point in time. Most aren't opening their businesses. The one that might offer you the best use of your time would be Marilyn. She has a potions shop near the few more blocks into the town itself, in fact, over by the town hall.
Possibly an odd question for you then. Do you have 2 wooden spoons?
Huh?
She raises an eyebrow. And, I'm certain I could scrounge those up. Give me just a moment. Bertrand, Bertrand, would you be so kind as to get our compatriot 2 of the wooden spoons? Used or unused? The unused ones, please. This Bertrand like, kind of
For
has
soup.
I'm hoping they were just for food.
this human gentleman like disappears around the corner, comes back a few minutes later, bearing what looks to be 2 wrapped sets of cutlery that have wooden spoons at the point in time. Wooden spoon, fork, and knife in them.
I'm looking for like a big wooden spoon. Basically what I'm trying to do is cut 2 dowels to make Safi's garrote.
Ah,
You
Oh, you want a bigger
can
one?
leave
Could
that.
have
You
just
can-
asked a terrorist to pick up some sticks on the way back. She would have
could have
carved some
also
for you.
just. You can also just leave it to Safi. He's made them before.
I was trying to be helpful, but okay. I'm gonna take my 2 wooden spoons and happily tuck them into my bag.
Hey,
You can
never
make
know what you might need.
Look,
Hey,
if you
never
don't
know what
make
you
them
might
for
need.
Safi, you can make them for a terrorist.
Okay.
I'm gonna try my
Amazing.
best.
I guess the only thing that we need right now is there like the corner that Raya can write in his journal in.
if you want to do it here, you can. While Terrace goes and runs in her hair and then comes back and picks all of you up at the point.
All right,
If you-
that sounds like a plan. Yeah. Also, Ursa, it's gonna be for the thing.
Okay, just send it along to me.
Okay.
Sus.
All right, so a terrorist quickly runs out and then begins heading off back towards heads back towards the nearby and toward the dinghy had been left. Terrorist, you're able to. Is there anything else you're wishing to do before aside from that? That would not take you too long.
As she's doing that, I think she's just going to keep like a passive perception going. Just because she's in hunting mode.
Gotcha.
She's also kind of just muttering under her breath, fucking spirits, showing up when they're not wanting and not showing up when they're needed. It's just rabble, rabble, rabble.
Rabble.
You know.
Or no, go make me a survival check then.
Okie dokie. Oh, the 12.
I'm not laughing at your. I'm not
Well,
laughing at your roll, though.
yeah, unfortunately, like you don't necessarily count. You can definitely the roads themselves are pretty muddy just from the recent rain and the heavy movement of feet. You are able to catch what appears to be a couple of different wagon ruts, cart tracks and wagon ruts that are heading out of the town. But aside from that, that's the only thing that particularly kind of catches your eye.
Easy. Okie dokie. She will go back to the boat, essentially just be like, look, this is the situation. It's going to be safer if you stay on the water, especially because I want my horse and cart before you guys keep going up the river.
We'll be sure to let the boss. We'll be sure to let the boss know that we'll hold pattern for a few days. We tend to take things a little bit slow anyway, so an extra couple of days of winding down shouldn't be too bad. And we'll see what we can do about that net that's holding the logs in place. See if we can jam it, cut it loose, and get things moving along slowly, so we can actually get where we're heading to.
Those of you on the ship don't happen to have anything silver, do you?
I mean, coins, nothing. Like, no, like in terms of like silver weapons or things like that.
As much as I loathe to suggest it, it might be worth melting a couple of those coins down just to coat weapons with. Stay on your guard overnight. It's apparently when they're showing up. And if I can hop
Understood.
those things, others can too.
And then we'll have them scoot back far enough out of away from the log, so they're not really hopping back and forth anywhere.
Stay safe.
They both give you a nod and set off in the dinghy back towards the ship.
Mm-hmm. Is my magpie still getting around?
Getting around. They kind of come back and they here and there because they do know in terms of tripping things like that. Is there anything that you wish to ask them about if things that they've found?
Anything suspicious, essentially. Any large beings or suspicious tracks.
In terms of things that they have found, no.
Okay.
But they've been kind of keeping a general eye on things overall. They will tell you that it's primarily that it looks like kind of the north and the north side like is pretty much untouched, and that it's more specifically on the southern side heading towards the fields that looks like it's actually been hit.
They're coming through the fields. Okay. A terrace is going to get them to just kind of hang around the fields and come find me should they see anything. I think a terrace is going to suggest that we play bait.
Honestly, not a bad idea.
See if we can catch these guys head on.
Oh, I love this game.
I hate this game.
Terrace is going full hunter mode.
Yeah.
And then
So,
she'll return to the others.
So, who wants to be the bait? I mean,
No.
Look, I can handle
we're not-
myself
we're not-
well enough.
we're not suggesting you're the one person who could fix us up.
I mean,
I can handle myself well enough, and I am ranger by trade. It would not be unusual for someone like me to be camped alone.
I mean, yeah, but you're good from like a distance too, aren't you?
From a distance, but also, she's going to like tap her blades.
Fair, but you're also the better one with ranged. Like, I mean, I got my cards, but they're cards, not arrows.
Then are you volunteering? I just thought it might be a bit better, what with you two being stealthy as you are.
Fair.
And the good doctor here should stay at range, both for healing and because spell slinging is not an up close and personal endeavor.
Also, I didn't really think about this until now. We know that they're not eating the people, and we know that they're not, well, for most part, they're not increasing in numbers. Otherwise, the town would be overrun, right? Allegan, I'm gonna ask you a question that might make you very uncomfortable.
What?
How effective
We are
would
not
magic-
using Allegan as bait.
No! I already said we weren't. This is different. This is serious. How effective does magic get if you use live people as a conduit?
It depends on the spell. What are you trying to get me to do?
I'm not trying to get you to... No! I'm not trying to get you to do anything. I'm trying to figure out... Alright, look. People have been being kidnapped, like, for the past couple of days, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least 50 people have been kidnapped. I know that Rich is like, we just left a town where where a group of people were using dead bodies to perform ritual and raise them up.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
If you get enough people could they like undo something or make something permanent? Like, say, ghosts being gone from a particular town forever?
I mean, with magic, anything is possible, so yes.
Oh god, we need to at least get one of these werewolves alive.
I mean, I don't necessarily think we do, but what I will say is it is maybe not outside of our purview that we may wish to investigate during the daytime. Loath as I am to say it. I am not particularly fond of the idea of bait. And I do have some spells that might assist us if we are trying to sneak in.
Tibi, listen. And it is what it is. And besides, you did something arguably a little bit more dangerous. And you came out alright.
I do, that's more dangerous.
My line of
posing
thinking.
as a cult member.
Oh.
My line of
cultists are
thinking
stupid
with
and can be reasoned with. They're not animals.
my
I'm
line of
pretty
thinking
sure
with the
that-
bait.
What?
My line of thinking with the bait is that if I were to say go willingly, you could track me.
Yes, but they're going to catch on to that. They seem organized, according to Anaris.
Oh. Wait, track.
If anybody should be staying here, it should be you. I don't
Yeah.
particularly have the ability to track people via magic. That's not exactly what I specialize in. You want
No,
healing? I've
but
got
you
you.
have-
You want things exploded? I've got you. But
No, but we have Tenoril. Tenorilla
Yes.
and I are bound.
I mean,
So-
can you do your weird dog talk thing where you ask him if he can do something or not?
She'll look at Tenoril. So, you can find me wherever I go, can't you?
There is a singular bark in return.
Does that mean yes?
So far, that means yes.
Okay, cool. Terrace?
Yes.
As cool as it is, there's one glaring flaw with you being the bait.
And what's that?
You're the one who actually has the plan, so to speak. I sneak. That's Safi breaks in, hits things, and get out. Allegan is the medic and the magic man. You're also the tracker and the one who has most of it. It'd probably be beneficial if either me or Safi. I'm sorry to volunteer like to Safi, but it just.
You're not volunteering me. I literally said that it probably should be me, but I guess that wasn't really heard.
No, I
I'm
heard
sorry.
that too, and I was going to be like, as weird as it is for me to agree with Saffron.
Wait.
Thank
He's
you,
right.
Doctor.
It makes sense. You are incredibly strong. You can get out of most restraints.
Very well.
I don't think it's an impossibility. No offense, Raya, but you are not the most observant.
Oh no, that's absolutely a valid thing right there. Why do you think I have a notebook right here?
Yes, and what would happen if that notebook was destroyed? by a bunch of werewolves who are stealing people.
I'm not gonna lie, you would see a very giant explosion off in the distance.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Just
Saffron, if
imagining. I'm just imagining off in the little distance. You'll just see this,
Poof.
and then
It's
just like Raya, just like.
As
Just full on
loath as I
Looney
am
Tunes it.
to,
Yeah.
as loath as I am to limit my supplies, we could do a couple different things. One, I do agree with you, Safi. I think you should be the one that goes. But, one, are we fully tied to the idea of as even one of us playing as bait? What does that get us exactly? And two, why not have Yana, fly over the forest, maybe see where they are going?
Well, if that's the case,
I can also see through her eyes.
then you would be able to track Safi.
Yes.
Terrace would be able to track Safi through Tenril, or just being a mountain woman. And
A mountain
people
woman?
can't. Shut.
I grew up in the plains, Raya.
You got the
Damn.
general gist of it. And apparently, I am just an invisible man at the worst possible time. We got at least 3 ways to make sure that if worst comes to worst, if Sappy needs help, we can back him up. He's probably not going to need help, but just in case.
I think
It's
at this
good to
point,
have it.
Ateris is grinning as she's like looking at you all. Well, look at us making actual cohesive plans with each other. Progress.
Something must be aligned in the planets, or somebody made a deal with the devil to make it happen. Who knows?
Emotional damage.
Hey,
Damn.
Allegan doesn't know.
No, he
None of
doesn't.
us
They
know.
haven't had the chance to talk yet.
Nope.
Raya knows.
Raya's just
Raya and Ateris look at each other. And Ateris kind of chokes a little.
Raya's playing it off by laughing because that actually is pretty funny.
But what I will say is, do we want to go by bird, or do we want to do the thing where we stuff Yana in weasel form? I don't know, down your shirt again?
We could eat. You could go either. I have Tenril and my magpie
don't
as
seem to be
well.
going after
So
animals.
All right.
Also, GM, real quick question: If
Yes.
because I know like you can only control your familiar in like 100 feet, is it?
Correct.
But can I still see through their eyes? After,
if I vaguely remember, you can still see through their eyes, but you cannot tell. You cannot just. Yeah, you can't tell them to do anything at that point because you can't communicate with them.
Yeah, I can't communicate, but I can still see through their eyes after the 100 feet. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
It's a big wall of text, and so I wanted to make sure I wasn't fucking this up. So yes, I can look through Yana's eyes for quite a distance, but it is not infinite. And she is also fragile.
I just realized something.
What?
I'm gonna have to cover my sins, and that is gonna be a very terrible process.
Oh,
Depends.
that's rough.
No,
Rough, buddy.
because I gotta cover up with all the sense that I was smelling the entire time.
So you need to roll around and piss, is what you're saying.
No, I'm not gonna roll around in it. I'm just gonna have to rub it into the better part of my clothes. But I can presto it out afterwards. It's just not.
Why
it's
not just?
not-
I hate to be the one that has to say this, but you can also presto the smell of piss into your clothes.
Oh, well, okay. See, you see, Alec, and the reason why I don't do that is because that is actually a great idea right there. Unfortunately, yeah,
You smell like piss, but you're not covered in piss.
yeah. Forgive me, okay? Forgive me, okay? Even I don't really have talent for magic, so I only settle on a few uses of it, and that's it. Anything else, I kind of sort of just wake up like an hour or so later.
This is what you get for casting with a sword. Subpar
Damn.
enchantments.
Damn.
No, go presto your clothes to smell like piss while Safi makes themselves look desirable to werewolves.
I mean, that's not.
Oh, like the
difficult.
cover of a novel, or
I think that won't be incredibly difficult, to be entirely honest. All I gotta do is sort of, and he just sort of swishes his tail. Yeah, I'm very chaseable.
I would
all right.
also
Ryan's
suggest that
silent.
we.
He is going to.
I would also suggest that we perhaps wait on the piss perfume until after we speak with
The Corn Lord.
Corn Lord.
Yes, let's go ahead and greet the great
Corn Lord.
Cornholio.
Corn Lord.
All right. So
I can't remember his name any other way.
Willard Norwick.
Yeah, Corn Lord.
Norwick.
That's what I said.
Norwick.
Norwick. Yeah.
Norwick.
Which at this point, as you'll head out through the door and kind of walk down a couple blocks, you do find a what appears to be a building of darkened stone, 3 stories that has a white tiled roof, or at least a kind of more of a slate gray, and upon which is a placard that bears a knight's white helmet with lance, that with a single finger held up to the front of the visor, with the words "The Silent Knight" underneath it. There does appear to be a couple of bits and different pieces of light poking out from inside, and you can see a number of different people looking out through the windows at all of you. And you can tell from the inside and from what you can hear in terms of sound that there's probably a good couple hundred people in this establishment.
Oh dear.
Fun.
And none of them sound very happy.
This is what I was afraid of.
People?
No. A bunch of important people in one room in a crisis. Nothing gets done.
Not wrong.
Yeah.
But before we enter in, we will go ahead and take our short break right here, and we'll come on back here within about 10 minutes or so. And when we come back, we'll go ahead and meet with the High Trantor and see if whether or not if this idea to get Saffron debate a bunch of different werewolves will work.
You were about to say that
can't
before,
wait.
weren't you?
I was, and then I decided to.
Corn Lord.
Corn Lord.
I love him.
Corn Lord.
Corn Lord.
All right. Well, we'll be back here in just a couple minutes, and we'll see how this whole shenanigery works out. Be back in a
That'd
bit.
be great.
See you in a moment.
Corn Lord.
Corn Lord.
Corn Lord.
The great cornholio.
Corn Lord.
The
Corn Lord.
Gremlins, everyone. Hello, and welcome back to And We Went on Road.
It's been too long since we've played, and we're all just chaotic.
Yeah. Yeah, even
Yeah.
Marvel's up here, being on his best behavior.
It's straight chaotic. It's no definition of good or evil or neutral. It's just chaos.
Us.
True chaotic.
But yes, hello, welcome back, everyone, and to And We Went Out Roving, where the group has made their way into Blackbarn and found that the town has been going through some troubles of late, in particularly in dealing with werewolves. Not their wolves or over their wolves, but werewolves. But,
Wow.
look, Young Frankenstein remains one of my favorite movies to this day. What do you want from me?
That's so valid.
Fair.
But so as we return to our intrepid heroes, I presume, if I want to be nice about it, the group now stands in front of the Silent Night in of many different people looking out through the various different windows, like in this approaching group. While from inside can be heard the sound of many raised and angry, irritated voices. You all know that this apparently is where the current High Lord or Lord Trantor, I don't know, High Lord Trantor, but Lord Trantor, Willard Norwick, has puts himself up for the evenings while this crisis is going on. So, at this point in time, what would you all like to do?
I'm
Be
gonna
a
knock.
menace.
Raya's gonna knock on the door.
There's all the voices very suddenly kind of go hush hush as you'll hear reverberating out of the. You hear kind of the creak of floorboards.
I think he
as
cut out
footsteps
then.
approach.
Yeah, it did.
Well, a bunch of you hear this large people hushing each other here and there, while the floorboards sound will begin to creak and groan as footsteps come towards the door, and you hear a heavy guttural voice say, "Who is it?"
Adventurers coming from Dapplegate. I heard you were having a werewolf problem. We were wondering if we could do anything to assist. We're looking for Lord Norwick.
There's a bit of muttering behind the door that you hear say, "How'd they get here so fast?" "I don't know. They're already coming up the river." I'm saying, "Check to make sure they're not werewolves." "Oh, and how do you expect me to do that, you big fat fancy pants? You're not werewolves, are you?"
You
No, we
got
are
anything
not.
silver on you?
"Got a spoon?"
Give me the spoon.
"Well, that means I'll have to open the door."
Oh, fuck. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna do something right
Silver
here.
wire. And I
Okay.
hold it up, and like my hand is fine as I touch it.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Who, me or
Allegan,
Raya?
you, Allegan.
Oh no, I don't. wanna be the one to
Raya
roll
is
it.
like searching for this.
Oh no.
Wait. I got it.
Nope, Allegan
Touch
is
me.
the one who said they did it, so.
Oh, that's not terrible. Okay. It could be better. Persuasion?
Yes.
9.
9. The door itself all creaks open at this point.
Seriously, if these werewolves are coming in the middle of the night, why would we be here in daylight?
Door creaks open a little bit further. You can see kind of this orangish eye looking out at you, kind of like flicking over all of you at this point in time. You certainly don't look like the rest of them were dressed as much as we can say.
Fair enough. Just throw us a spoon real quick. I'll solve this really fast.
I'm terrified by what that means.
You see this this fairly large hand all of a sudden pull back and chucks the spoon at you.
Raya is going to catch the
Oh.
spoon.
That's a 16 to hit.
Oh,
Nails you in the forehead with a spoon.
That's a meat that actually,
Meets it, beats it.
yeah. Here's the thing. I was going to hit myself on the head with the spoon.
Right,
What?
you take
That works too.
you take 1 point of damage you take 1 point of spoon damage.
Spoon damage.
No! Little
For
spoon,
real.
big spoon, but now I mean damage spoon. Am I even...
As you kind of like rub your head at this point, it's like, ah. It's like,
Okay.
all right, you didn't light on fire, so I presume that you're not a werewolf.
Yep. Oh, hold on. Give me one quick moment. Raya just kind of picks up the spoon. He lightly taps Allegan on the head, make sure that skin is seen being touched. All right.
As you
He
do
does-
so, Alligator, nothing occurs.
What?
I'm about to fucking say.
He does the same for Terrace.
Nothing occurs.
Terrence is staring at you with the blankest stare right now.
Nothing occurs.
No.
Raya places the spoon on Sappy's nose.
I try and balance it.
Make a dexterity check.
Yeah, this is. I hope I get a nat 20 on this.
I'm
Just 'cause
going
it's so
to
silly.
I'm going to assist. I'm going to assist.
How are you?
You're
assisting?
assisting?
Yes, I'm gonna have it so that when it ends, Ryan's just gonna just gesture
Jazz
to Sappy,
hands.
like, ta-da. like
We're
the
not
most-
beating
God.
We're not beating the circus act allegation.
No, of course we're not. Also, thank God for that assist because that first roll was a natural 1. Just flat dexterity is a 19.
19. You're able to kind of like balance the spoon on your nose. Then you're able to like stick out your tongue and like balance the tip of it like on the edge of the tongue at that point in time, like kind of like roll it back and forth, and then just pop it into your
Showing off
mouth.
my tongue skills.
Yep.
We're not
Does
beating
that-
the circus allegations.
No,
We are not.
No, it's not. And Ryan would just call out, "Does that prove that we're not werewolves?"
Right, fair,
Proves
fair.
that we are morons, but sure.
Oh, come on, we already established
Speak
that.
for yourself.
The door is open wide, and you see this. You see a fairly broad half orc, with like with small circular glasses like at the edge of their nose, hair tied back into a long, gray ponytail. What probably will once be like a fairly well manicured and maintained goatee has grown a little bit more scruffy over the past couple of days. Pardon me, my name is Gadrum. This is my very nice inn, but for at least at the moment, things are a bit more unusual per se. Welcome to the Silent Night, and he gestures inside where you can see that it's packed wall to wall with people of all various different sorts, shapes, and sizes. In particular, which many of them are looking at the bar itself, where you can see this slightly more portly, rotund man, wearing what is very clearly a white wig that has kind of the curls to it.
No.
That has the curls to it at the side
no.
at that point in time. Like this pair of like square spectacles that he keeps like pushing up to the top of his nose with his middle finger as he kind of peruses you all with this permanent frown on his face. As well as a couple other individuals next in and around him and dressed in similar styles, long-tailed frock coats. While next to him, as well as another individual, kind of a little more like fashionably dressed, like a dark purplish leathered coat that has silver trimming, a short-brimmed, like perfectly circular black hat, like a full beard and kind of a more ruddy complexion. If I may introduce the local merchant lords, as well as also the High Trentor, Mr. Willard Norwick, and the local noble, Mr. Cortez.
Pleasure to meet all of you.
They all give you a short nod saying, you are expecting a warm welcome?
No, we were on our way from Dapplegate up to here to get to Emirates, and we ended up finding the place like this, so to speak. My apologies. Introducing myself. My name is Raya Silva. This is a Terrace, a Dr. Allegan, and Safi. And we just happen to be adventurers passing through, and
You are adventurous per se, and so perhaps then you might prove of some use to them. Are you for hire?
yes, we are.
How are your skills in dealing with irreputable, low-life, monstrous beasts?
Well,
This is the guy with the kind of the wiggy like kind of hair with the curls at the end, Mr. Willard Norwick.
okay. It's like, well, Mr. Norwick, for a terrace, it specializes in dealing with nasty beasties for the past, I want to say like 100 or so years, give or take, something like that.
Ateros will just toss out the Hellrider amulet onto the counter.
Well,
You see Cortez walk over to it and kind of pick up the individual with kind of the flat cap and the leather jacket. And he picks it up and kind of rubs a thumb over it. So, quality work, I see. Does it still hold true, or is you more like the Red Riders who proclaim themselves as the Hell Riders of the Border Kingdoms?
I do work on my own these days.
Then certainly you can understand the need and want to ensure that there are people are taken care of. I myself have lost many a fine hand to these roving beasts, as well as also that there's been a far fair number that have been taken from here as well.
Indeed. How long has it been since protections went missing, so to speak?
The High Trader speaks was like, it's been 3 days since they've since the last sighting of the lances a individual attempted to nick someone's purse and while they were out and about, and usually most would not think a second thought of it, considering that the lancers usually arrive to beat the nonsense out of such individuals. But this time did not occur and immediately caused a stir amongst all of the people on about. The first night was full of looting and raiding from the various different individuals within the town itself, of a less savory type of a stay. But the real trouble then came 2 nights ago when these marauding beasts came through and decided to make off with all sorts of people. They didn't care for goods or otherwise, and unfortunately has proven to be quite a thorn in all of us. Disruption has been ground to a halt of all distribution of goods to the various different locations and locales. And so much we must ensure that if you can help us, then I will express that there will be a significant monetary reward for the quick resolution of this issue.
how much are you willing to pay as a starting fee?
Make a persuasion check.
Mhm.
All right.
I will say
You got this.
you have advantage because Ateris put down her Hell Rider sigil.
Cool. So that makes it because that was natural one at first. So
Oh,
and I don't have to use the other thing for it. So that makes it a 17.
17.
nice.
This. If you're able to provide a timely resolution to this issue, we will be willing then to prevent such raids from continuing to occur. Then we will be happy to pay you all a sum of 5,000 gold. If are you able to then ensure the return and reestablishment of the lances, we would be willing to offer then an additional 2,000 gold on top of that.
Alright. So
If, and he raises a hand at this point in time, if you can also bring me the certification that there is either a protection will continue on at this point in, and the distinct elimination as to what is truly causing all this and who caused this in the first place, then I think then we could perhaps discuss a further, more interesting repayment.
that sounds more than reasonable. Yes, are we in agreement of that? You look over at the others.
Yeah.
That seems fair to me.
Sure.
Alright. Let's see. Wait, we got there.
What silver does this place hold?
More than a few of which has been taken and provided for the various different scouts and hunters that we've sent back, but none so far has returned. These beasts apparently are very well skilled in terms of keeping trackers off of their tail, or at least their elimination. Some silver we can provide. We do have 2 quivers worth of arrows still available, and we do have a few weapons, but silver's not as much as one to come by here as it is gold. So you can understand the situation we have currently found ourselves in.
Is there a blacksmith
Understandable.
with a smelter?
Nearby, unfortunately, that was one of the first places that they ended up deciding to raid. And insofar we know, as not many others have the skill here in order to repair or coat weapons in silver. As far as we've been able to see, these beasts do act and operate with intent and intelligence, and it does not surprise me that they decided to remove an individual that would be able to make such things.
Would a terrorist know enough to be able to just smelt down some silver coins and use that to coat things?
What tools are you proficient with?
Not many. Because I sacrificed them for horse fighting.
Then I'm going to
Fair.
say that's how to
fair.
maintain your weapon is one. Actually, the one who would be more likely to know how to do that would be Allegan.
Say, could I possibly use any of my alchemical supplies to...
I would say you could probably figure out some amount of like electrolysis or like some amount of that in order to silver a weapon properly.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Finch,
that-
Midge knows how to do that. I don't know if Allegan does.
Real quick. With that, if Allegan manages to figure out,
Hmm.
would he be able to edge playing cards with just little dustings of silver?
Maybe.
Because that's something that you don't really need much. just-
Fry's gonna go full fucking gambit on us.
Yeah.
You couldn't necessarily not Allegan theoretically, but Saffron could with jeweler's tools could tap into the edges with silver wire,
Yeah.
because that would be basically that's closer to filigree work than actual smithing.
Oh.
Like
Okay.
if you're just having like saffron just like kind of put, like edge like the very much like that's like fine delicate tool work than necessarily
Let Safi edge you.
exactly.
Come on. You know you want to.
I mean, we've been
avoiding it.
playing this for a while.
I was avoiding that.
No avoiding. No avoiding. Say it with your chest.
I mean, you're the one who first brought it up at the thought and act of edging, so it's your own.
I'm going to find you, and I'm gonna put a fucking plunger on the top of your head. I will send you out in the streets like a fucking unicorn, Sky Daddy.
And
know
I
what?
wish you the
Oh
best
no,
of
we've
luck.
killed,
No,
we've killed
fuck,
Fox.
I will go to San Francisco. I'll find where you were and just do like a drive-by. Just put a bad dragon on you and just run.
I used to play. I
Anyways.
used to play baseball. You don't think I can hit you with a flying bad dragon just like into the back of your own skull?
Damn.
I'm writing this down to draw both sides of this.
Look, I work with Mexicans. The chonka throwing skills are strong.
Oh
Mhm.
god.
Chocolate
I
skills
swear
are
to God,
wicked
I
fun.
swear to God, if Cal actually came in at that moment,
Oh god. You would not ever recover.
I would not ever recover. Okay, we got a game plan. We got most of the silver.
Did they say that they had silvered arrows?
They
Or were
have
they
two
just
quivers
arrows?
of they have 2 quivers of silvered arrows.
Terrace is going to grab those arrows.
Let me just double check as to how much that costs. Because if
Yeah.
you're taking silver arrows for them, that they will take that out of your reward.
That's fine.
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm
because we
happy
literally
to pay
have
for it,
10
so-
spools of silver wire that we could use.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can make.
Okay.
I'm also happy to sacrifice 200 silver if it helps to melt that down and cover that.
I was
And that way
gonna
you've
ask.
still got silver spools for
I have so much. I
spell
have
work.
plenty. If I give 5 to y'all, I'll still have plenty.
Okay.
Cool.
Let me just figure out my.
I had a bunch of
weapons.
silver, but I got souvenirs.
Fair enough.
Special sword. Okay, so you can silver a single weapon or 10 pieces of ammunition for 100 gold pieces.
Okay. Yeah, I've got
But that does not represent that. Also, the time and expertise that you need to add. So, I'm going to say that for the 2 quiver, well, since each quiver is what, 60 euros, 20 euros.
quiver I think is
I got it. Quiver 20 euros, so technically each one's like 200, so 400. So I would say half of that. So yeah, so it would be probably cost you 150 gold pieces then to get both the quivers.
yeah, a terrace will
Out of
just
the reward.
hand over 150.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. And then from there, there is the working forge. There's the forge nearby that is available. But when you do get there, you can see that a lot of it's smashed up. But but the tools are still there and available. So with a little bit of time spent,
I don't like how efficient they're being with this.
I'm just like also like you're in a town that's technically under siege, basically.
Yeah.
So there's not necessarily a whole lot of in terms of things like for shops or people to distract you because people are hiding at this point in time. You're basically the only group walking out and around.
Yeah.
So there's not necessarily a whole lot to distract you per se.
Fair.
So you have, at least as far as you can tell at this point in time, it's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon when you get the stuff from Norwick. So you have probably 7 hours, maybe up to 10 until the next attack comes. So you can theoretically at this point in time attempt to take a long rest if you so wish. You can certainly take a short rest. Or what preparations would you like to make or prepare with while you are prepping up your silver weapons, arrows, and other things like that?
If there's nothing that people need from a terrace, I think she's going to take a long rest so that she's prepared to pull an all-nighter if need be.
Right. All right. I was gonna do was have Safi just do a few of his cards. He's gonna use the dwindling deck, not the full deck of 52 throwing cards that he still has.
Okay, you with that, I would say Saffron will be the one spool will be enough for 10 cards.
Okay.
Cool. I will
Alright,
work on that.
And then just doing it with a sharp and a blunt sword, I guess. That's about it.
Okie dokie. Anybody else like to do or prepare anything before night sets?
I'm just doing the alchemy to try to. Whose weapon am I silvering right now? Because I only think I'm going to be able to do one.
Who...
I can wrap silver on any amount of them, and actually, I'm going to hand the 2 wooden spoons and a spool of silver to Safi and be like, happy belated or early birthday.
Wow, thanks, Doc. This is such an amazing gift.
Make a
Truly,
growth
what
and
the-
shut up.
Okay.
Honestly, all Rye would have to do is just wrap spool around a blunt sword.
Did
Fair
you want to
enough.
silver
That will
one of
take-
Viteras's blades then? If Raya's not going to do it.
Yeah, we can do.
Yeah. Oh. One particular thing. Should Raya trap where there is a... No. They're short resting at the actual inn, so there's no need for traps. For now.
For now.
Here now.
Right. So Alligator, you would be able to. I'd say you're practiced well enough in terms of alchemical matters that you could silver one of Aterus's swords without issue.
Okay.
That will cost 100 gold pieces in silver, or technically costs like 50 gold pieces worth in silver, or somewhere around there.
Okay.
So 500 pieces of silver.
I can convert some of my gold into silver and throw that in.
I can also give some silver.
I can also give silver. So,
I will give-
stop sacrificing and being the sugar mama.
I'll give
Look.
I'll give 30 silver.
This was the funniest thing to me in the Strahd campaign I ran for my group, is that there was no silver pretty much anywhere in any of the in treasure chests. It was all electrum, and they were just like, "This is the most useless metal ever."
Wow, this is
Fucking
worthless.
hate Electrum.
No, my boy, it's less than worthless.
I love how it's not even. Oh, never mind. It's still there in D&D Beyond. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
I'll
Yeah,
give,
no, they still
I'll
have
give
it.
30 silver pieces.
Okay.
20. That's all I got.
And I will cover the rest.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, how are you all setting up Saffron to get trapped or baited, or well, how would you all like to set up this encounter?
Real
As far
quick.
as far as you can tell, they kind of are sticking more towards the edges rather than necessarily going full bore into the center of town, but they are going after people. So
Ateris will
So,
let the others know about the south side direction they seem to be coming from.
Okay. So is Saffron still gonna be wearing his usual stuff, or is he gonna be getting stuff from like the pleasure house?
I mean, he's wearing his usual armor because it's fucking equipment.
Fair.
Just set Safi up like a traveler and...
look, anything that Saffron wears is fucking. Let's be fair here.
This is true. This is true.
Oh right, I gotta put on the fucking piss cologne.
Yes,
Yep.
you do.
Riot is not enjoying this at all.
I imagine not.
Okay, so
Set Safi up in just what looks like a camp for someone traveling through.
Mhm.
And
okay, so you're doing it outside of town or in town?
Edge of town, probably. We don't want to
yeah.
have anyone a little too curious that wants to like peek their head out and then get hurt or
Get
something.
yomped.
Oh, great. We're edging again.
Yes, we're edging again. I think having some raw meat will definitely help.
Yeah,
But
though they don't seem to be going after animals at all.
No, make it
yeah,
look like.
but the smell of raw meat, the smell of blood, it
Oh,
could help.
Ooh. Make it
Oh,
look like you're cooking. Like you're cooking.
Exactly. Listen, wait. Actually, really important. I'm gonna actually ask around for some clothes. I'm not gonna wear them. I'm gonna have them next to me. Clothes of people. Has anyone actually survived an attack?
But somebody
There are,
did technically escape.
in terms of for here, there was that one body that was in the river itself. As far as you can tell, there are clothes that of various different people that are in the houses that were left untouched. It was just the people that have been taken. You would be able to find like various different bloody rags and things like that from like some torn cloths here and there. Full sets of clothes
Doesn't need to be
people.
full sets. Doesn't need to be full sets.
Then, yeah, you
It
can-
needs to be things that have a strong scent of these people that are being taken and hunted.
So just clothes from just some of the townspeople still there.
Yeah, if they're still here, doesn't matter. Just
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
there's gotta be something that at very least, because it doesn't seem to be super targeted, but if it's sort of, then
The
maybe
pleasure
they're
house-
looking for.
The pleasure house can
something.
certainly provide you some sweaty clothes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, so we'll take that and I'll just sort of bundle them up into a big pile and basically sit on top of it
Okay.
as a part of this little diorama we're making.
Yeah.
fair enough, I
Saffron,
guess.
did you want Tannerel with you?
Best not to.
I think the only other thing that I'd probably think about, Raya's probably just gonna be. Is it just like plains? Is like plains and grassland, or are there like a few trees?
There's a few sparse trees here and there. A lot of it's been kind of like what would have been here would have been cut down for logging a long time ago. You would see a forest in a far distance, but it's mostly rolling hills.
Rolling
There's
hills.
like there's like a single standing tree here and there.
Are there like marshlands and shrubberies? More like that?
Marshes there's by the river itself, but shrubberies technically because there's like shrubberies like by the lanes and similar but there's a lot of like cornfields and other like vegetable fields and things like that. Even though it's technically late harvest, there's still some fields out that are still full of.
So here's what I'm thinking. Give me one quick moment. Give me one quick moment. Why are you walking outside?
Cat.
A cat is doing something it's not supposed to.
A cat is
Cats are doing cat
catting.
things.
So question real quick. So is this intended for Saffron to get captured or to put up a fight in this, or to get captured and then escape later?
I think.
What is your intent
Okay,
here?
I believe. I mean, my understanding is this is a lure, and then we're gonna beat the shit out of this thing once it gets close. That's my understanding.
That is also
we-
my understanding.
If we can, yeah. If not,
And-
and Safi does get captured, then we can track them to wherever they're taking people.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Right,
the
sorry about
plan should be either we beat the shit out of one of them and like keep them alive for interrogation, or worst case scenario, Safi gets snatched and we follow.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
The plan I was gonna have is that Raya just have a vantage point so he can see Safi, and he's gonna use a glamour weave cloak to blend into the surroundings, and just sit with the mask, with the hood up, mask on, and just stealth.
Because you can fucking disappear.
Yes.
Yeah. Amazing.
I think a terrace will set Allegan up somewhere nearby in like some of the shrubbery.
In the shrubbery.
Somewhere like somewhere close enough to sling spells, but like with the prestidigitation trick, hideable and easy to escape from if need be. And then a terrace is going to get up one of those sparse trees and like hide in the boughs.
Actually, that's a good question. Can Allegan presto some scent blocker?
What do you mean? Out of character, what the fuck does that mean?
There is things that you can spray that can just remove like
Yeah,
something.
scent
I could
blockers
just make you
tend
smell
to
like plants.
scent blockers tend to be pretty strong smells to cover those though, which could be more of an attractant than smelling like piss.
Fair.
Yeah, put that shit on Safi instead.
Nah, I'm gonna make Savvy smell like they're kind of like sweating, scared, like whatever that scent like cocktail is.
So
Yeah,
you
like
need
that.
fear.
Yeah.
Make me smell like fear.
Things I didn't expect to hear today.
The people with Saint Kinks are going to love this episode.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
A terrace will also have Tenoril staying at a further distance, but close enough to, I guess, alert in case anyone comes up from the direction of the town.
All right, 1 second. Okie dokie. So we'll do that. Yeah, I can use this map real quick. Okay, so talk amongst yourselves for a minute while I get this quickly set up because I have to
Oh,
change
okay.
maps.
Okay.
Yeah, you good.
Oh
You
boy.
good.
I do have a really
20.
quick question.
I'm already here.
What do I need to roll
Yeah.
for alchemically altering this sword?
That would be intelligence plus proficiency.
Okie dokie.
Oh, would I still need to roll stealth or?
You will need to roll stealth in a bit.
Okay.
And then the next question is, do I have time to turn Yana into a bird
Yes.
while I do that? Okay. I'm going to turn her into an owl. Just like a barn owl.
Did my magpie see anything through the day while we were prepping?
Make a perception check. Your bird magpie has advantage because they are burb.
Because Borb.
Borb.
That's a natural 20.
That's also a natural fucking 20. Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
Natural
Wait.
20 plus proficiency plus 3 plus intelligence plus 8. So 32.
I'm wondering. If we
So
can
32. So I'll get it for you. I'll say that it costs actually half again. So it only costs 25 gold pieces to
Let's fucking
silver
go.
Laterus' sword.
Let's go.
For Terrace, the bird doesn't catch anything until later on into the evening. I just want to get this set up here because I wasn't expecting any of this. So.
What, you weren't expecting us to
Sorry.
be a coherent team for his life for
No, I just wasn't expecting it. I just wasn't expecting it to occur in this specific fashion.
Expect the unexpected.
Yep.
Okay, so it's this one. All right, so I need this. Wait, what do you mean they're doing bait? It's like, oh, great. Okay.
you really didn't think we would take that route with a ranger in the party?
No,
Yeah,
I
that's
really
true.
didn't.
All right.
Oh.
Uh,
All right, I
This
can
just
use
goes
this.
to show.
Use this as a saffron. It's technically supposed to be night, but I don't have the night one set up, so I'll just.
It's fine. It's fine.
it's fine.
That's what the power of imagination is for. See,
Imagine.
Indeed.
I know that this is like originally like a war game and stuff like that, but it did start as theater of the mind. We can return to theater of the mind.
Very true.
Exactly. Oops is buzzing me
There we go.
repeatedly.
Oh,
All right, so you're off on. So technically, since it is fall at this point in time, so you all can kind of set up yourselves as to where you would like it. Picking up on one of the trails that kind of leads in and out of the town itself for a little bit, and so you can all maybe set up yourselves as you so wish. Kind of like basically, kind of the campfire being like over by this tree in itself here, but where it's in technically plain view of the town itself. So. But yes, I'm assuming Terrace and Allegan would go and hide themselves. Tannerel being with Allegan.
Yep. Also, just no presto. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna try to basically make myself smell like plants to like
Sure.
try to improve my ability to hide.
Give me an Arcana check.
Okay. I'm gonna be like right here. Oh, I can't move Tannerel. I don't know where Yana's at.
I can
I'm
move
basically trying
Tannerel.
to like. Actually, I'm gonna hang out with a terrace. A terrace. I'm gonna go
where is the which end is the entrance to the town?
Town is down this way.
Down this way? I might send
Okay.
Tannerel down that way then, just in case anyone comes from that direction, and that way Tannerel can alert us.
Sure.
I'm also going to put my arm or my hand on a terrace's shoulder, and I'm going to have Yana basically swoop up into the air and like fly around and basically go like the 100 feet out
Sure thing.
and look through their eyes, basically trying to spot.
Sure. So Allegan, so Terrace's bird is also doing recon, which they rolled the natural 20 on. All right. So is this kind of where you all feel like you're good set up at this point in time?
My magpie will have to stop once night falls, simply because they're a magpie. They can't see in the dark.
Your magpie at some point that would have caught some people moving in about and around town, but aside from that, not too much. It's been fairly quiet. The one thing they would have noticed further out is that in the far distance, they would have seen a faint plume of smoke, like probably a good 20-30 miles out. The only reason they can catch it because you rolled the natural 20 on it, and it's like far out.
Good to know.
Also, that was a 23 Arcana to hide my scent.
Then I'll say that you're pretty good at it.
Okay, so stealth check then.
Oh, don't
Alright,
fuck
so
me
I will have everyone go
stealth.
ahead and make stealth checks, please.
Do I get any bonus to my stealth with that?
Yes,
Me?
so because it is darkness and because you are hiding in shrubbery, that so that Terrace and Allegan and Rye can all make their stealth checks with advantage. Saffron, you're not trying to
Nope.
draw attention. In fact, you are trying to draw attention. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you make a.
Oh no.
I'm going to have you make a survival check.
Oh, okay, I can do that. That's fine. I was scared. Survival 14.
Okie dokie. Now you feel you're able to make yourself a fairly enticing target.
I'll swish my tail extra enticingly.
Oh, brother. Okay, so that's
Timing.
okay. Advantage. So that was 11 and then an 18. So that's 28. That's 28. Why do I have to think about this? I got a 10 in stealth.
21.
18.
18. Terrace is the low roll in the totem pole.
That's
Yeah.
weird. What did you roll? Like a 3 to get that?
My stealth's only a +4.
Oh.
Remember.
Oh,
See,
no, it's
all
your perception.
of my
Jeez.
shit, all of my shit is in like perception and
Yeah.
investigation and insight.
For some reason, I always
Alright.
thought I thought that
And
that was stealth
athletics.
as well, but my brain just.
And I need all these fellows.
It's
Also,
it's
real
a
quick
wild.
shout out to Ko. Your fucking art looks so good.
I'm so
It's just-
glad
I
it turned out
keep
so
looking
well.
at
Eat it.
them.
I want to eat it.
Eat.
I'm
It's
so
just
happy with
good.
how they turned
Yum.
out. I'm excited for
yum, yum.
y'all to see Ursa's new DM reactive next
Oh.
week.
Oh.
I got inspired the other day,
Oh,
and I'm just
no.
like,
That's
gonna
be
tasty.
very bad. Oh, sorry. That could either be very good or very bad.
All right, can I get perception checks from everyone, please?
Perception?
now
Yeah.
that I'm good at.
Well, what? Okay, I rolled an 18 again. What the fuck? So that's gonna be,
27.
21?
25? Yeah, 25.
Hell yeah.
God.
Give me 2 seconds. I gotta look up what the owl's perception is because I'm not seeing with my eyes. I'm seeing with Yana's.
Look with your special eyes.
Yeah, look with your
I
special
think-
eyes.
My brain.
I think owls have
The advantage on hearing.
advantage? Oh, on hearing.
What? What?
Yeah. Because they can hear
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah.
Oh.
Owls have like fucking amazing hearing, dude.
Mhm.
So
Despite not being able to see their ears.
yeah, because Yana has dark vision as well, so that helps me a lot.
Okay.
All right. And
Owls can
she has
hear 10
Do we
miles
still
away.
have one of those dark vision potions?
I do. I was gonna down it as soon as I was out of Yana's vision.
Cool.
So that's a 24.
Okay.
Perfect.
so you'll
We're
roll
all in
over
the
20.
20s.
So as you all kind of like settle in for the evening, as it gets later and later into the night, in the distance you all begin to hear these vague howls echoing across the plains and for a pure point in time. And as they kind of slowly trend closer and closer, Allegan, for you, since you're looking up above, you would begin to see dark shapes, maybe about a dozen, maybe 20 or so.
I'm
that-
basically, as I'm seeing them, I'm basically squeezing a Terrace's shoulder as they're coming in. So I'm just like,
one larger than
squeeze
the
for-
rest.
great.
Very quickly, and then they begin to kind of spread and fan out and kind of some of them
Lead in, Arsa.
my apologies. Begin to kind of spread and fan out and begin to, some of them head towards the town itself, but a fair number and chunk of them do seem to kind of turn towards and head in the direction of Saffron from as best you can see. The probably at this point in time, maybe 4 or 5 then begin heading this specifically towards Saffron, while another 6 or so head into the town itself proper. But as they do approach, come rushing down the lane with quick speed, Terrace, you would certainly recognize these to be lycanthropic forms, running humanoidish, but running on all 4s at this point in time. So,
Okay.
Oop. They do come down.
Do I see if there is one in particular that seems to be leading them?
From what you can tell at this point in time, no. And Allegan, as you continue to look, the large one you've lost sight of. But one thing that you all do notice is that each of them is bearing a glowing red mark on their forehead.
Do I recognize this mark?
Make an Arcana check.
Sure. Is it 18?
18. So, the mark itself you don't specifically recognize, but from what you can tell but you know, at least in terms of the magic itself, is that it looks like blood magic, of in some fashion in terms of strengthening, but also of blinding.
Great. Brr.
I think a terrace is going to very carefully and quietly draw her bow with one of those silvered arrows, and if one of them comes up on Safi, she will let it fly with Hunter's Mark. She'll prepare that.
Okay. All 4, and as look as they were kind of beginning to head down the lane, do spot and see Safi. None of them seem to have noticed any of the rest of you. Do spot and see Safi and come rushing up down over this way, kind of like skidding to a halt and looking and eyeing at them like with warily. None of them have spoken or like howled or anything at this point in time. They kind of skid up to a halt in placement. One of them standing onto their hind legs and looking at Saffron. And Saffron, you hear in common growled out to you, "You smell of fear, but you do not give it. What are you doing? You should be afraid of us."
Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I want to have a conversation. What's wrong with that? I got a nice fire here and plenty of room.
They kind of slowly start to fan out. And one of them is still, all of them still eyes still locked directly onto Saffron. And yet you are out here on your own. It seems questionable.
What's so questionable about wanting to enjoy a night under the stars?
You are not from this town.
No. I am from so far away. But what about you guys? You guys local? And he's just sort of like keeping an eye on all of them.
One of them kind of like growls like the other, and one replies back. This one kind of steps over a rock. There.
Get close to your mic.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was so that one steps over a rock. This one comes to there. This one goes to there. This one comes to here. We're local. Well enough, yes. If you're not from here, then move on. We have no quarrel with you. No target is painted on your head.
Oh.
But there is a target painted. On the locals? What for? What'd they do?
A purpose to serve.
A purpose? Oh, so serious. What's the purpose?
It's kind of this growl. And you can see as the mouth kind of like opens slightly and then clams shut.
Oh, that isn't really an answer, honestly.
Not for you to know.
Oh, why not? Come on, I'm an out of towner. Like, come on. Who am I gonna tell?
Stop talking, idiot. Ripper will kill us.
Sorry, who?
One you don't need to worry about if you're not from here. Move on.
Well,
Or do
but
you
now
want
I'm
to get caught up
curious.
in this?
Well, I don't want to get caught up in it, but now I'm curious. And, you know, something, curiosity, something, cat. So, consider me intrigued? Who's the Ripper?
And you hear something large fall from a tree behind you.
Oh.
Oh.
And the rest of them kind of like for a sudden like ears flatten against their head and kind of slowly back away.
I'm gonna slowly turn around.
And you see, which had been successfully hiding from the rest of you,
Fuck.
Shit! I knew it.
a nearly 10-foot tall lycanthrope.
No.
Hold on a
Are
minute,
you,
I'll get it.
I'm in danger.
Art.
Show us the full art, because that
I'm-
token is already tasty.
I am going to go get it.
Oh.
I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! I knew it! What do I get?
You get
Light covered and looking down at you at this point in time, Saffron, kind of like taking your hand into its grasp from a long reach away. It says, "What's a tasty morsel like you doing here?"
Goddess.
2 seconds. 2 seconds.
As
2 seconds.
soon
I have to see if my monster fuckerness is gonna rub off on Safi real quick.
Oh, yeah. I mean, come on.
I think Safi blue screens for a second is like, hello. Just does the full like down up look.
I'm going to put it
Uh,
into. I'm going to put it into archives.
Was.
Okay.
Is there a way?
Oh.
For those
I will
of
get
you
Yeah.
on,
I'm going to get the actual roll 20 one here in just a second.
yeah.
Smash.
Wait,
Absolute-
Wait
That's-
a minute.
Fuck the enemy
Yeah, that's-
every time.
That's Safi's hand. That's Safi's hand.
Yep. I was
Cheeky. I love
given instruction.
And I appreciate it. Look at that art. Look at that
Oh.
art, chat. Like,
Nah.
god damn.
No.
But there's
You know what?
additional art. But like,
You know what?
Mm.
You know what?
Those who want to see the additional art will
Sappy's-
see that in the Discord.
Yeah, go join the Discord.
Sappy has had his turn. No. Ryan wants to figure out what he's about, okay?
We
Get in line.
cannot fuck every enemy we come across.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
We
Yes,
cannot
we can.
fuck our way through the Forgotten Realms.
We can
No,
absolutely
no.
fuck our way through the Forgotten Realms.
If it wasn't for the fact for the
Who needs
teeth,
bards when
Midge,
you
that-
have
Midge, that-
us?
it wasn't
Midge,
for the
that's
fact-
cowards talk.
It wasn't for the fact that he's big and he's got the teeth. He's covered in blood and rope. Nah.
This is gorgeous, by the way.
Yeah, it is beautiful art.
Like, holy
Oh,
shit. Solstice gets it.
Yeah.
That's the wrong. That was the
Freaking
kinda-
wrong.
but
Sappy's
he-
kind of
Take, like,
yeah,
takes the
back
hand,
in the
just-
moment, back in the moment.
Yeah, so he takes the hand and kind of holds it up at this point in time, and like you can feel the muscles like slightly tense as he basically takes the whole weight of your arm and just lifts you off the ground until you're like you're eye to eye with him at this point in time.
His feet just sort of kick dangle a little bit like, okay, I'm off the ground now. Oh no.
The saying was "Cuts kill, curiosity killed the cat." You want to join it?
Should brought it
Well,
back.
The full phrase is actually satisfaction. Brought it back. Tagged on to the end there. You're the Ripper? I'm just taking a wild guess.
You'd be correct.
Cool.
And I have a bone to pick with this town. Much
How
to
come?
their unfortunate demises.
But like, genuinely, how come? What did they do to you?
Debts to be paid. And a toll to be collected.
A fucking insight check, please.
Sure, make an insight check.
Yeah, my dice! Come back! We're good.
Just
bumped
my
it off
dice.
the desk.
Ateris has that arrow aimed at the Ripper, waiting for the right moment.
23.
23. They are speaking the truth. But you get the feeling that they don't fully want to buy into it. Like there's a very intelligent individual behind there. And from what you can see into you're usually very good about reading people, is that if this wasn't actually a person who was out or a thing out to kill people, you would you would probably be close to dead already. The fact that these underlings and it have taken the time to warn you off multiple times gives you the feeling that there's something a little bit more going on here. But they can't talk about it.
I think Safi's expression goes from that very, very shoddily crafted confidence to something a little bit softer. Did someone put you on this? Is someone forcing you to do this?
As you say that second line, the other hand shoots forward and grabs around your throat, and the thumb takes your mouth closed. Cat's wanting to know more than it should. I'm feeling we
And-
should be taking you with us.
And that is when Ateris is going to let the arrow fly with Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh
it's-
boy.
Here we go.
Here we go.
right.
Okay.
We roll an initiative?
Yes, we will have. Well, we'll roll initiative and then we'll come back next week.
I would like to say, as soon as
Dude!
that big fucker shows up, I'm downing that potion. I wanted to
Smart.
say that.
I assumed as much.
Ryan was
Um,
just sitting there
Am,
ready. He just wanted to see
am
where
I
this
rolling?
went.
Am I rolling my arrow shot now
Yes,
or
because
next
this
session?
technically count. This occurs before.
All right.
That will occur
Wish
before
me luck,
like that
guys.
triggers initiative.
Oh
Wish me
boy,
luck.
we got this. Roll initiative.
7.
That is gonna be a 21.
That
Only a
is
14.
a 26 to hit.
26 will hit.
That is 1d8. Do the silver arrows do any extra damage?
They don't do extra damage,
I
but
don't know.
they're really good for a reason. Sorry, what was yours? My apologies.
That was a 21 as well.
21. What is your dexterity modifier?
It is +4.
Is it an 18 or a 19?
It is a 19.
All right, so you just barely go before him.
My initiative's 24 as well.
24 for Terrace,
My initiative is 4.
4 for Allegan. Saffron,
14.
14. All right.
So
yeah. What is the
that is
damage?
4 points of piercing damage plus the additional 5 points of piercing damage from Hunter's Mark.
All right. You see the arrow just light and like slam into the shoulder at this point in time, and the arrow kind of like lights on fire. You can see it gives off this slightly silvery bluish flame, and he looks down on it and looks up at Saffron, who's still held in his grasp, and says, "Funny cat got tricks." And then we will pick up here next time.
Oh my god.
No!
Y'all.
Yo!
Let's go!
Genuine thing. I am personally saying let them take Safi.
I'm
Because
tempted.
he's got plans.
Oh no.
He's got fucking plans.
Of course you do.
Like, the thing is, a
Of
terrorist
course I do.
probably would have let him had he not grabbed Safi by the throat. That's why a terrorist was holding. He was talking.
Mhm. They're still talking, technically.
You,
Technically.
Technically.
There is a. This possum is a rubber band. Is like just a rubber band about to snap right now. Just
Yeah.
he needs to know who he needs to take out, or if he shouldn't. He's right there. He's right. He can literally end one of them right there.
I
No, yeah,
cannot
they are not
wait
aware of
for
Ryan.
this.
Oh boy.
Oh shit, I also need to
Yeah.
work out which of the blades it is that we silvered.
The fire one
Yes.
cannot be silvered
Okay, that answers that then.
because the fire blade itself is
My plus one is silvered then.
the plus one you can silver, but the fire blade itself cannot be silvered for one.
Easy.
different reasons.
Yeah, Shikai. I didn't think Shikai could be silvered, but it was worth checking. Alrighty.
All right.
This
Well-
was a really fun first session back.
Oh,
Welcome to
yeah.
Arc 2,
Welcome back,
gang.
everybody.
Happy
Yeah,
New
welcome back.
Year! Happy
Happy
New Year,
New
Awwor.
Year.
Oh,
Yeah.
We will be having some summary videos go up soon. Drew once again will be recording those for us. So stay tuned. These ones are going to be longer ones, so they're getting their own videos.
Yeah.
But they will
Hell
create a
yeah.
nice little summary of what has happened thus far.
Yeah. thank you all very much for joining us on this first episode back after our after our holiday break and we went out roving. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening and Happy New Year, and we're back into the thick of it. Looking forward to next time, everyone.
With our shortest session ever.
That was the thing. I was like thinking, he's like, okay, we either do this now and we probably run until like for another hour and a half, depending upon fights and things.
That would have been.
I think this is a good time to stop.
It is.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, let's ease back into it a little bit. Like, let's not push it too much, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Also, it's a new year, which means a new chance for art. If you have art of Awwor, please send them in. We would love to see. I want to see a new art reel.
Raise your hand if you want to see art of the Ripper from other people. Me.
Yes. Yes.
He's a lucky werewolf. I think I'm obligated to do this right now.
He is main wolf werewolf, so
yeah.
I love that. I am very much going to be drawing him with Safi in perhaps some compromising situations, but definitely some that can appear on the reel. Definitely.
You can put some in the reel, and then the ones that can't go in the reel, you can throw in the Discord.
Exactly.
But yeah, if you have questions, if you have art, send them to our socials. We have multiple ways you can contact us. And we look forward to continuing. Shall we raid the Vactor?
Yeah.
Let's
go give them some love.
They're playing their Ravenloft Candela Obscura game. So let's give them some love. Reminder, if you are raiding over with the rest of us to the Vactor, make sure you hit that refresh or hit the live icon on their page so that Twitch counts you as an active viewer. It's shitty like that sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Make some good trouble. Don't do anything we wouldn't do, which isn't much.
Thank you all, everyone. Yeah. Thank you all, everyone, for joining us in on the restart of this lovely little ride. Looking forward to seeing you all next week. Take care.
Yeah.